If that's hair, what's this?
The uglier hair.
No, not ugly hair. What you have is probably the same thing a dog has. Because you'll mix with dog, pig, and monkey. Even right now, you can't go across the border. You can't leave America without a passport. So right now, no one watching this in America can leave America without a passport. Tell me you're not in prison.
That's some governmental boundary.
Yeah, it's prison.
Jesus never lived. Jesus is a mythological figure.
No, there's over 25,000 manuscripts that prove the existence of Jesus. There's more proof on the existence of Jesus than there's proof on the history of Julius Caesar.
Name one of those manuscripts.
There's a lot of white people that have actually gone through historic injustices like black people have for different reasons. My ancestors were straight up 75% of them were murdered.
You're white. You were genetically created. You are a human. You were created to work. You were created to say everything that you're created. I wasn't created to follow what you're saying. That was not for me. I'm the creator of what you're saying. I taught you everything you know.
Okay, guys, got another 1 on 10 debate for y'all today. We got 607 Unconverse 10. First prompt is that Earth is a prison planet. Do you disagree with that prompt?
I disagree with that prompt.
Well, hold on, I disagree with the whole system. No, for real, what you doing? Because you said that something here is going to determine whether something is right or wrong. That's what you said, right?
The
when
fact
I say
checker?
it's a fact checker. It's going to determine whether
Right.
something's right or wrong.
We got an AI fact checker right now.
But that can't be correct. Point to your right. Who's right? Right? See, I don't think you understand. Right is only a perception. You point that way, I point that way, but it's both considered right. There is no left or right. Now, keep it real. You never left nowhere. Left or right, it exists only in your mind. Because if you could point right and I could point right, then none of this shit can be right. Because both of our rights was different.
How are you setting it up to make you unbeatable?
No, both our rights was different. Point to the right. So who's right?
Me.
Right. It's impossible because right itself is a perception. So AI cannot determine what's right or wrong. He can't do that.
Can you?
There is no right or wrong. See, right or wrong is determined by the person, right? Whatever is good for me is right, right? And whatever is, bad for me, whatever hurt me is considered bad.
But you could look at that 100 different ways. Something could be good for you in the moment. Something could be good for you overall. Something could be good for your soul.
There you go again. Look is different. How do I look? Do I look with my eyes?
Goofy.
How do I look? With my eyes?
Yeah, I think.
Do I look with my eyes? Yes or no?
Yes, but you got a third eye. And
Okay. So when I'm asleep, what's watching my dream?
What's watching your dream?
Yeah, because I can see it.
Your subconscious. Your eyes send signals to your brain, and then that interprets things. So you can just interpret them without seeing them.
Who told you this?
I mean, shit, I don't know. Someone with a white coat on.
What's going on? Can you give me somebody I don't know?
All right, hold on. Okay, the Earth is a prison planet.
Correct.
Who started it?
Have you ever been to prison?
Yeah, I guess I live there. If this is a prison planet.
No, it's things that happen in prison that everybody here familiar with. If you ever been to prison, prison have a warden, right?
Right.
And prison have places where you can
so
go.
Who's the warden of Earth?
Well, on Earth, I don't know, but of United States, you have to say Trump, all right? And on Earth, it's a lot of different gods. So it's kind of like confusing.
But it's not just America that's a prison, right? You're saying it's the whole
The
Earth?
whole world. The whole world's a prison, right? Because what do a prison got? A prison got rules. It tell you what you can and what you cannot do, right? And if you do something wrong in prison, it have a prison inside the prison, right? You got a hole.
Solitary.
Right? So somebody always telling you what to do.
But just because you have rules doesn't make it a prison, right?
Why would you have rules?
Well, I mean, a daycare has rules. It's not a prison.
It's a prison for the babies. The babies don't like it. When the babies get there, it's a prison.
Daycare is baby prison?
They gonna put
That's
them
what we're doing?
It's not prison. Do the babies want to be there? Or they held there against their will?
Okay. All
right. A prison is a place where you're held against your will and you can't get out. Get out of Earth. Leave now. Get out.
I mean, I can't just stop my heart from beating, but it doesn't mean that we're in
even
prison.
if your fucking heart stop beating, you still can't get out. That's the trick.
How do we get in? How'd I get in? What'd I do? What'd I do so bad to get put in prison plan?
That's human perception. See, you think that everything has a beginning, everything has to start from some point, right? That's just human perception. Human perception believe in origins and everything start from some point, and everything exists solely in one thing. But even cells exist and they're fake. They got synthetic cells right now that go into the body and can live in your body like normal cells and kill bad cells, but they're synthetic. They're not real, but they put them inside your body. So is your body real or fake?
My body's real.
Then how could synthetic cells run your body?
I mean, they can run them. They can be. They're symbiote. I don't fucking know, man. How? There's no synthetic cells in my body.
That's your mic?
This is Sean Kelly's mic that he's so graciously letting me use to talk shit to you.
You got a house?
Yeah.
That's your house.
I mean, yeah, government.
You got a
owns
car.
everything. Yeah.
That's your car.
Yes,
You call it my car.
I do.
It's just a possession. You can lose it at any moment. Like your body is just a possession, right? You don't own shit here because this is a prison. Everything is owned by the prison.
We got put here then?
It's no
What
here.
did I do to
There's no
earn-
here. Listen, if it was a here, then you would have a location. You can say where we at.
I have a location.
No, it's no location because can you tell me where we at? No one can tell me where we at, right? It's not a location. This is not a location, right? If this was a location, then somebody can go above the universe and look down on it and say we're here. But no one can do that. No one can tell you the coordinates of Earth because no one knows. Because I'm telling you, it's not a location, right? There's no way you can get through it through miles, right? It's determined by your decision. We live in multiple realities all at the same time.
What happened back from evolution? Cavemen, they're all on prison planet as well?
What do you mean? It's still happening now. Listen, even when you look at the star, you're seeing the star dead. So every planet that you see dead according to your human eyes if you're using your human eyes. So your human eyes are flawed.
It just takes a light while to get here,
Then
right?
it's flawed. If you can't see it as the now, then it's flawed. Then your human eyes are flawed. Right? But you believe in a God or something like that?
Yeah.
The Bible?
Yeah.
Well, the Bible said that we in a prison planet because the Bible talks about the firmament.
The Bible says all kind of shit that's bonkers.
But you said you believed in it, so why would you?
I mean,
Of
sure.
course, yes, belief is what man thinks is true, so of course you don't know.
Okay.
There's no way you can know if you hold belief.
You've had your dick sucked?
Right, listen, I'm not. Do you want to suck my dick?
No. Have you ever on a hot day had like a cold glass of iced tea after you've been sweating all day?
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
This just don't feel like prison to me,
I don't really want
to
to talk. Iced tea is a mistake. See, iced tea was created like this. They came over with hot tea. Listen, they came over with hot tea and it was so hot, and he made it by fucking mistake. Iced tea is a mistake. It was hot tea first. Not for real. It's a mistake. So a lot of times mistakes be good for people, right? Did your AI fact check that, nigga? I guarantee you go, yeah. It's a mistake. All right? And look, AI know that because AI can they can watch this history. They can kind of like see what's going on.
You
But a lot
said
of
that couldn't taste shit.
it's a mistake. What is taste? You can't taste in your dream.
What is the dream thing? We're not in a dream, are we? Is this a dream?
You tell me. What's the difference between this reality and the reality in your mind? I suggest this whole reality come from you. I suggest that you playing every character here right now. I suggest no one here outside of you.
I'm creating all these characters.
Yeah.
Oh,
And listen, right now, Sean, say something.
Yo.
Now you say what he just said in your head in his voice.
Hold on. What am I doing?
You say what he just
Can you write
said
this?
in your head in his voice.
Not out loud, though.
No, in your head in his voice.
Okay.
Did it work?
What do you mean, did it work?
Did you hear his voice in your head?
Yeah.
You created his voice.
I mean, I remembered it.
You created it from the start.
But
from
if
the
I didn't
start.
hear it, I couldn't have redone it.
Look, from the start, you created it. You couldn't hear it unless you created it, right? But you don't see that. You think that this earth exists with just you solely, but you don't exist inside your body. Right now, you know where I'm at? Do you know?
I don't think
Do you know
where
where I'm
you're
at right
No,
now? Do you know where I'm at?
Uh-uh.
I'm everywhere. Everywhere here is me now, right? Because I can't see my face.
But I've created you.
Oh no, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I can't
see your
be
face,
created or
but
destroyed.
you can see them on the screens.
Oh no! See, I don't think you understand. The screen is a different reality. They tell you that's virtual reality. What kind of reality is that? What they call it? Metaverse?
Metaverse.
That's a different kind of. That's a different world. See, we live in worlds inside of worlds inside of worlds. So I don't think you understand. You think you just live in one, but it's multiple realities, right? You got to know how to live in all of them. I take you to the hood. They're gonna think you the Dauphin or police. There's no other choice for you. I'm keeping it real. There's no other choice. Like they can't
You
determine.
can do both, I guess.
No. You either one or the other because based on their perception, that's all you can be.
So what happens at death then, if in the prison planet?
There is no death.
So we're stuck in prison forever.
We're stuck inside what they call, how can I say it? Should I tell them? Nah, we stuck inside God. Well, if that's what you want to call it, or the energy, we stuck inside what you call God. Some people call it Allah, Jesus, Buddhist, Confucius. They got different names for it. But we stuck inside it.
But
Whatever
you
the
say
fuck
stuck.
It is. Yeah, stuck.
So then
it's
what's
no out.
outside of that? What is outside of the prison planet?
There's nothing outside of this. Listen, all right, so it tell you this. It say when it say in the Bible, God created heaven, it say he created heaven and he stayed in heaven. It say he created this shit and he stayed here. It never said he's outside of this. There's no outside of the universe. Everybody tell you this. There's no outside of the universe. You can't go outside of it because there's no outside. It's only inside.
So is Mars a prison planet? Like, is everything prison?
What do you mean?
I'm saying, do you believe in other planets, or that's bullshit too?
I'm gonna say this. Only time you
Don't
gonna worry
touch
about
that.
listen.
Don't-
The planet's gonna determine where you from. Why you think they got zodiac signs? So the planet gonna determine where you from. Okay, cool. You from Mars, then you know how you act according to the zodiac sign. What's that white nigga name to do all that shit? Bring him
Gary the
back.
Numbers Guy.
Yeah, bring that nigga back. He'll tell you about the planets and shit. I'm gonna tell you about you.
That's your boy,
Yeah,
Gary.
I didn't know my boy. I don't got no boy. Everything is me. I don't think you understand. Right? But we stuck inside of prison because you can't get out.
And the warden is Trump.
Well, right now, but I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people suggest that it's like 13 families that's running everything, but I suggest that it's the original. I'm gonna say this. A lot of people ain't gonna like this, but I'm gonna say this. It's the original black man. Because the black man don't know who the fuck he is. He don't know. Like the black man was out. I'm from Africa. Where you from? Well, they know they was here, but they know they got here because we know that we gave Indians certain shit while the Indians was here. So we know that we popped up here, but we don't know where the fuck we came from. But they're gonna say you came from Africa. They're gonna take me to Africa. They're gonna say, oh shit, this nigga not African. So what the fuck is this nigga? Where the fuck did he come from? Right?
Do you ever done like genealogy, the ancestry.com, and where are your people from? You can look it up.
Show me your hair.
My hair?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Show me your hair.
Bro. I think you're
Show
seeing
me
it.
your hair.
I know eyes don't work and nothing's real. It's here. You want to pull a piece out?
Okay, so what's this? If
I
that's
mean-
hair, what's this?
The uglier hair.
No, it's not ugly hair. Listen, no. So what you have is probably the same thing a dog has.
What?
No, I'm keeping it real. It's not
I mean,
hair.
well-
You have the same thing a dog has,
Okay,
right?
what's-
Because you mix with dog, pig,
Yeah,
and monkey.
nobody's- Me?
Yeah.
Bro, why?
You're a human.
And you're not.
You were created to work.
I'm with a wait, what am
I
I?
don't think you get it.
You said I'm a dog, a pig, and a monkey?
Yeah. That's what I'm mama. That's what you are. They looked it up. They science looked your genes up. The AI fact checking this.
If AI tells me I'm part donkey and pig,
listen,
I'll give you $100,000.
Listen, but I'm not. Listen, I'm saying this, but let me say this something about you. You that, but you don't have no land here. See, look, it's something strange about me and you because me and you both don't have a land here. We take everything here. You go take shit, replace shit, but where the fuck are you from? Is it a white land? Right? Listen, we have a German Shepherd. I'm gonna tell you where the fuck a German Shepherd is from. The fucking dog is from fucking Germany. Where the fuck the white man from? We don't know. Where the fuck the black man from? We don't know. All right? We don't know.
Black people are from
Yeah,
Africa,
yeah.
and then white people are from Caucasus.
No. Take me to Africa. They're gonna tell me I'm not from there because Africa was
Nobody
broke up.
wants to
Listen,
claim you. That's
Africa.
the problem.
Listen, Africa was broke
That's
up.
a you thing.
Africa was broke up by you guys. Y'all broke Africa
No,
down in
don't
sets.
say you guys.
Y'all named it based on trade, based on what y'all was getting from each particular part. Africans never called themselves Nigerians and shit like that. You guys did that shit.
Right.
They didn't do that.
Right.
That came from you, right? Because
Me.
you're kind. You're kind.
But you said the black people are the ones running the show.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Black people.
12 families
Listen,
behind the
I'm saying this. Yeah. No. Them the white families that the black people control. I don't think you understand.
So the black people are controlling the white families, you're saying?
Of course.
It's not of course.
I'm telling you for real. Look,
I mean, I believe that you believe it, but don't act like I'm an asshole
no.
when I know.
I no belief. I'm telling you what I know is true because everybody know this. You gonna go different places. They're gonna say, "Oh, these people on these lands just disappeared. They just disappeared. These people just disappeared." The crazy ass Hebrew Israelites, they think it's them. I ask the Israelites, they say they're the chosen people. They think that the people that everybody looking for is them. That's what they think. But it's the people that have been lost, have been tricked. Because the worst thing they can do is take something from you, hide it from you, and the whole time it's stealing you. Right? So the whole time they hid it from me, but the whole time it was still stuck in me. That's why I don't read now. Listen, I don't even read. The priest was trying to make me read. Tell this nigga don't try to do it no more, because I don't read. No, for real. I won't read
He's a
shit.
big picture book
Now,
kind of guy.
I read people, and I read energy, right? And I read frequencies and shit. I don't read books.
Do you believe that you're in the
I
prison
don't believe
planet?
shit. Stop playing. I don't believe shit.
What do you mean?
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
Are you in the prison planet? Let me word it that way.
I'm gonna say this. You probably are. I'm here having an experience, right? So I'm having an experience. I'm having a human experience here, right? Because when this body supposedly died, whatever inside of me is gonna move past the body, right? So this is like a video game. I'm playing it, right? But people don't understand how to play. So that's why people here and they complaining, right? And they don't want to accept it as a prison. I knew a lot of niggas in prison would never accept that they was in prison, right? They wouldn't accept it. They thought they was in the streets, so they started fucking fags. Yeah, they thought they was in the streets, yeah. They wouldn't accept that they was in prison. You ain't supposed to do this. But they bending niggas over.
Okay.
You would have got bent
No,
over.
all right, hold up. First off, no.
Okay.
I'm not getting bent over and fucked, all right? If this is a prison planet, there's every new baby who's born that's what it is. They're in prison for their energy is stuck in this realm forever.
Listen, it's two things that happen. Every time, everybody know this. If you watching this, you did this and stop lying. Every time you went to jail, you cried. Every time you're born, you cry. Right? It's like the same reaction. I'm telling you, I don't think you understand.
But I stubbed my toe and I cried. I don't mean I'm in prison.
I don't think you understand, right? Get out. I mean, get out. You can go so far. Even right now, you can't go across the border. You can't leave America without a passport, right? So right now, no one watching this in America can leave America without a passport. Tell me you're not in prison.
That's some governmental boundary bullshit.
Yeah, it's prison. It's prison. This is prison. You cannot get out, and you cannot justify the fact that we all in prison. The only way to get out is in, right?
Go within?
When you don't accept everything without, you go within, because it's one thing that's kind of like in everything. And a lot of people don't know this. There's one thing that's in everything. There's only one thing that's in everything. In happiness and pain and sadness, there's only one thing: peace.
Peace?
See, yeah, peace is in the bottom of everything, because that's the only thing that's in everything. So if you find that peace, then you become free. Free is peace, right? But a lot of times, I'm from the streets, gang. We confuse peace with boredom. Man, nigga, I'm bored as a bitch. Stop playing with. I need something to
You're
move.
addicted to the chaos.
Exactly. We're addicted to it. Let me tell you a story, right? A lot of people watching this, they probably don't understand this story. But if you understand the story, you're going to understand how everything I say is true, right? No, for real. It was 5 monkeys, right?
Okay,
no,
five monkeys. Now I'm
monkeys.
following.
There's 5 monkeys.
Okay.
They locked them down in the cave, right? They took what's that name of that thing that got little steps on it? No, not an elevator. That's got to move that. What's that thing? A ladder. Yeah. They took a ladder right there, right? They took a ladder. They put a ladder there, and then at the top of the ladder, they took some bananas there, right? Okay. And so the monkeys started climbing for the bananas. They sprayed them with water. Sprayed that bitch down. They sprayed them down. Every time they went up, they sprayed them down. Boom. So now the monkey said, look, don't go for that, based in their head. So one monkey grabbed for it. They went and grabbed him. They sprayed him down. He went down. Listen, so now every time one grab him, they ain't got to spray him. The other monkeys is fighting him. They replaced all the monkeys one by one by one by one. Now they got brand new monkeys in there. None of them never been hit by water, but none of them touched the banana.
And they don't even know why.
They don't even know why. And that's what's going on here, right? See, people don't ask questions. Listen, I'm gonna say this. If you got a belief, you gotta ask, why did they give it to me? Where did it come from? And what the fuck they're trying to get me to do? Because every belief, every stipulation that you got was for somebody else and not for you, unless you gave it to you.
Well, you say you don't read.
I read people.
So you get
I read.
downloads.
No,
What if you
I
get the
read.
wrong download?
No,
How do
listen,
you know the downloads are correct?
Downloads a computer. I read people. Listen, I'm gonna say this. If you probably don't understand this, but you probably do understand this. But if you ever been to the streets, gang, I'm from the trenches, gang, and I can have 5, 6 niggas with me. We walk in the room. It's time to rob this bitch. We speaking. We speaking. We speaking, nigga. Nigga, we speaking. Before you know it, the shit up on you. And you on the ground. How the fuck I ain't heard nothing? No, you ain't heard nothing. Because this don't have to be moved.
There's a lot of communication happening without
Yeah,
words.
of course. A lot of the information. Listen, most of the communication in the world is nonverbal.
Yes.
Right? Because listen,
Yeah, I
it
think
happened
that-
in the
you could
mind.
actually fact check that. That's the first true thing you said all day.
Okay, everything I said, it don't matter. Everything I said is true and false at the same time. Because in every lie, it's a truth in it, and every truth is a lie in it.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're wrong. Good luck with that.
If you learned anything from this episode or got any value at all, please share this episode with a friend. It helps us grow the channel. It helps us grow the podcast, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much.
I'm not finna do this. I mean, this don't make sense.
This guy?
Yeah.
All right.
Everything. No, let's go.
Oh, shit, hey, man, you know.
Yeah, so you in white and I like you. I'm saying it don't make sense because you probably gonna say the same thing I'm saying. I don't think you gonna disagree with me.
Sometime on some things, but most of the things, hey, if I agree with it, I'm just gonna be quiet. Cause my mama told me if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Well, listen, you believe in Jesus?
I believe there's somebody up there.
Do you believe in Jesus?
I don't believe in nobody I ain't never met before.
So no? You do or no?
I believe my grandma believed in Jesus.
No, you said something about good. So you told me you believe in Jesus, and I was gonna ask you, was Jesus good? A lot of people watching this, they're gonna say, yeah, that Jesus was good. But how? Because Jesus was running around telling people stuff that they should do. People didn't like Jesus for the stuff that he was doing, so Jesus could never have been good. But perception,
But he was human.
But he was never good.
And humans ain't good.
That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people say, oh man, Jesus was good. I gotta be good like Jesus. Jesus was never fucking good. Right? So I just wanted to say that because when you
Well, a
said
lot of
something
people,
about
a lot of
good.
people like Jesus because they drink wine. So a wine head like Jesus.
I mean, is it wine or blood?
You be the guest. You be the.
I mean, if it was blood, you can understand they got the stem cells in there trying to keep themselves young, so blood make more sense than wine.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, blood make more sense than wine, so I'd rather drink some young blood.
I ain't drinking no blood.
Or just get it pumped in you then.
I ain't drinking
It's
no
plasma.
Blood. Well, I got blood in me already.
Well,
Why get
listen.
something
Well,
pumped in me
listen. I don't think you understand. If you get the plasma pumped in your body right now, it can reverse your age. Don't you want to be young again?
for? I'm already the oldest YN.
But that's how this is how people remaining young. See, you don't never have to get old again. All you gotta do is keep some young kids around with younger plasma and keep putting it in your body, and you're gonna remain young.
Adrenochrome.
The body was not invented to die. There were a lot of people. I hate people say I was born to die. You should do something about that because the body wasn't invented to die. Death was invented.
So what's age then?
There's no such thing as age.
Okay, so you saying people don't die. So how old do you think I am?
What
You
is
think I'm old? You think I'm young?
I think
you think I'm middle?
I think you don't have an age. I think to try to put an age on you will be pointless because you don't have a beginning or an end.
I do have a beginning.
No.
I begun with my mama.
Nah, that's what you assume. Which time?
The time after my daddy bust that nut in her.
yeah. That's what you assume.
I don't assume because when I assume, I make an ass of you and me. And I ain't trying to make an ass nowhere near you because you don't play with no asses.
I mean, it just depends on where you at. If you're going to play with ass or not. In the penitentiary, it's good to play with ass. Just depends on where you at.
No, I've been to the penitentiary and I ain't played with no ass.
But somebody there was.
Quite sure it was.
It existed.
Quite sure it
Yeah.
was.
What's your questions, though? What this?
I don't know.
What
It
this
sounds
supposed to
like
be
y'all
about?
agree on a lot.
Yeah, we agree a lot. I know him.
Thanks for watching to the end, guys. Please comment below your thoughts on the episode. If you agree, if you disagree, I'd love to hear it. I read every single comment. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. You said you believe in Jesus, right? You don't think he died? Or you do?
No, Jesus, he died, but he came back. He went to hell, and that's when he returned back to earth
But I'm going to say this.
in the flesh.
Jesus, Yahshua, Horus, whatever you want to call him, in whichever life you want to call him, but everything that he can say about Jesus' life, I got somebody here that can take it further back.
Do you want to bring him on?
He come right here. Whatever he can say,
All right.
he's going to take it right back.
Let's get it.
So I'm going to get out the way.
Peace, brother. How you doing?
Peace, brother. I'm doing good, man.
So you said you believe that Jesus died and
Yes.
went to hell and came back?
Yes, sir.
What if I told you that that's a new story?
And what do you mean by that?
What if I told you that there's a story about how one will die, go into the underworld, and come back as a resurrected being? You would say that's Jesus, right?
No, you're referring to Kismet history?
Kesmet?
Kismet, sorry.
Kismet?
Go ahead.
I think you mean Kemet.
Kemet, there we go.
Right.
Yes, sir.
What I'm
Kemet.
going to say to you, let's cut to the chase.
Yes, sir.
Jesus,
closer to the mic.
some people say that Jesus never died.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree with that because Jesus never lived.
Jesus did definitely
Jesus
live.
is a mythological figure.
No, there's over 25,000 manuscripts that prove the existence of Jesus. There's more proof on
25,000
Jesus.
manuscripts?
There's more proof on the existence of Jesus than there's proof on the history of Julius Caesar.
Name one of those manuscripts.
I can tell you that Tacitus was
Tacitus? Tacitus.
How would you spell
You
it?
don't know I'm a historian.
Okay,
so
go
I'm
ahead.
just saying,
So the Roman historian.
Just agree, just not.
I'm
That's
just
what I
telling you.
meant.
I'm saying the Roman historian
Yes.
proved that Pilate was the one behind the execution of
Did
Jesus
he do
Christ.
that? How did he do that?
Yes, he did. He wrote it. He followed the history up with it.
What year
So it was
did
documented.
Tacitus write that?
This is in around 500 AD.
Okay, and what year would you attest to Jesus living?
That was 2,026 years ago, based off of American history.
Wait. Let's
time.
give us your AD again. Come on now.
Go ahead.
For the-
so
say
for
for the
his death,
family.
his death is 33 AD, and
So
that's
you're
recorded
saying
with
that-
the red moon,
so you're-
and that has been
So-
proven as well.
So you're arguing that someone that wrote something nearly
Yeah.
500 years later is the person that you want to cite for historicity? Is that what you're saying?
So who are you going to cite for history that hasn't lived thousands of years as well?
I'm
History
saying-
is still fact at some point, even if it's recorded later on in time. Just because it's had prolonged time doesn't mean that it's not true.
Okay. I knew your great-great-grandfather.
Go
You
for
believe me?
No, I
Why don't you believe me?
Because you weren't living at the same time. as him.
Oh, wait a minute. Brother, are you on my side or are you on your side?
But you said you're a historian,
you
so
just
what's the
said
point
that
of studying
you just
history if you don't
invalidated
want...
Tacitus.
Go ahead.
No,
So
you,
so
listen,
who is your
when someone
historians
is
that you
digging,
look
give
up
them
to?
another shovel.
I'm just telling you
Tell
this.
me, you
Who
just
did-
invalidated
So you're a
Tacitus.
historian. You're a
Yes, I
historian,
am.
and you're tearing apart history. For what reason?
No, I'm not tearing apart history. I'm giving you a corrective analysis of history.
So please go ahead and start your
I'm
analysis.
telling you that just as you told us, Tacitus did not live
Yeah.
during the time of Jesus.
That's correct.
And so you're
That's
saying
correct.
that he should be used as a citation for his historicity. But
Right.
you're claiming, by the way, it wasn't 500 years. He got that date wrong. But we're going to go with
which
his
date
wrong
was
date.
it? No, go ahead. What
No,
date
no,
was
we're
it?
going to go with your wrong date.
I would like to know
when
which
someone
date
is
it is.
digging, give them a bulldozer.
I'm giving you the bulldozer. I'm
Okay.
giving you
No,
the
no,
keys.
it's your
I'd like to
bulldozer
know.
'cause you're digging. You're
I
digging.
appreciate it.
I'm not
so
digging.
thank you. I'd like to
I'm
know
looking
the
down at the
correct
hole
time.
saying, are you sure you want another one?
So I would like to know the correct time if you do
let
genuinely
me
know.
just say to you.
Because
you
I
said
don't
that
want it
there
to
were
just be
20
something that's a statement.
Well, let me say this to
Go
you.
ahead.
You said there were over 25,000 manuscripts proving the historicity of Jesus.
Correct.
I asked you to name one, and you invalidated it. Name another.
I didn't invalidate it.
You just said
I'm
that
telling you that
you
this
don't
is
believe,
still
you don't believe that I knew your great-great-grandfather because I didn't live during his time.
because you don't have any knowledge on my
How do you know
great-grandfather.
that?
So go ahead, please tell me.
How do you know that I don't?
I would like to see if you
Your
do.
reason is because you said I didn't
You
live
are
during
still-
his time.
okay.
Tacitus did live during Jesus' time.
But your angle of trying to have a debate by just prompting yourself to say
I'm
that
going to help
everything I'm
you.
saying is wrong.
Give us another one.
I would like
25,000
to-
is a large
No,
number.
I'm
Give us
asking
another.
you. I'm asking you to go ahead and tell me your basis of knowledge.
What I'm
instead
saying
of
to
just
you is,
discrediting
how
everything I'm
about-
saying
how
because
how
Go
about
ahead.
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah, sure.
Let's be very clear. We have no physical evidence and no textual evidence for a literal historical Jesus Christ. And to go
John
further,
20,
wait, hold
24.
on.
Okay,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
hold on.
I was gonna say
Let's
that he
go
came in the
further.
flesh and there
Let's
were
go further.
witnesses.
Wait. Let's go further. Let's
Yes.
go further. Let's also recognize that much of that Jesus story is present in an earlier tradition.
Yeah.
The deity of resurrection was a deity that people worshipped, recognized for thousands of years before there was ever a Jesus.
And how do you believe that to be true?
Well, I mean, I'll take you on my next trip to Kemet so you can see the artifacts.
Well,
They
I'm just
exist.
asking. I would like to know, how do you believe those artifacts?
I just
you weren't
told
there.
you. I just told you that
You weren't
we
there
have-
when they were
we
made.
have
That could have been
artifacts.
man-made. That could have
What's
been
an
man-made.
What's an artifact?
Something that was found from the previous dated time.
From that
in history.
period?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the artifact that you
Have you
for
ever
Jesus?
heard of falsified fossils?
Are
that
you
some-
attempting to argue that the artifacts that we find
Can be
that
altered?
that are
I
not
absolutely
wait
am.
that are not questioned by any reputable scholar, any archaeologist, are falsified because what's your name again?
Roe.
Because Roe said so?
No, I'm not saying
Oh,
because
okay,
Roe
all
said
right,
so.
all right,
I
all
feel.
right.
See, that's the implication.
I'm saying to you that
I
we
think I'm
have
being very clear in my
artifacts
question.
for this for all of the information I'm giving you, and I'm
Yes.
going to tell you that before there was ever a Jesus, before there was ever
There
a Yeshua,
are still pieces
before
of
there
his
was
cross
a
in
Yeshua,
existence.
there are pieces of his cross.
Yes, in
Where?
existence. They're spread out amongst the people.
Okay,
That was the plan
And you
to be
believe
spread
that-
out
and
amongst
you-
the people, because Christianity wasn't to be a man-made book.
and
It
you
was
believe,
to follow Christ himself.
So you believe who put the cross up?
Jesus carried his own cross up.
No, I didn't ask you who carried it. I said who put it up.
Some of the Romans that were working
You're
under Pilate.
suggesting that the Roman centurions gave it out to people like favors at a birthday party?
No, I'm not saying that. This
So
was
how
a
in the
sacrifice.
world
This was a
Do you
sacrifice.
think that they have pieces
This was
of the
a
cross?
This was a sacrificial ritual that they had. They had members that went up to the cross after he died when he was taken down and he was put inside of the tomb.
I know you don't know me.
Go ahead.
But usually this is the moment when I put up a sign that says source. Imagine it says
Yeah.
source here.
The
What's your
Bible.
source for that?
My
the
source is
Bible
the
says that
Bible
they
for
gave
that.
out the cross,
No, I'm saying the pieces of the cross were spread out.
and that's in the Bible.
Sure, go for it.
What passage is that from?
I'm trying to
Oh,
tell you
boy.
from John 20:24. Jesus came back when he returned. And that's when Thomas was questioning his existence, if he was really there or not. And Jesus
So in
told
John
him, peace be with you.
20:24,
Hold on.
it says that they gave
He
out pieces
said,
of the
hold
cross?
on. He said, peace be with you. And that's when he invited him to reach his finger inside the hole in his hand.
I hope this AI is putting up
Oh, it's
2024.
popping off right now.
Did it?
I hope it's
did
putting
it
up
confirm
2024.
John
It
It takes
2024?
10 seconds.
Please.
2024 says they gave out pieces of the cross.
I did not say that he gave
Yes,
pieces
you
of the
did.
cross. I'm telling you about Jesus' existence when he returned. After that, the disciples made their agreements of what they were going to collect from the death site of Jesus. And that's what they passed on.
Here's another question.
That
Here's
one got
another
contradicted.
Which one?
John 20. You said John 2020 or?
John 20:24 is what I said.
Uh-oh.
I picked up John 2020.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I said John 20:24 when Thomas was questioning Jesus'
They
existence.
gave out pieces of the cross.
No, I'm telling you the
I
steps
asked
of
you
how
for
that
your
goes.
source.
Okay.
of how the cross was given out to people.
My source for that is because of the pieces that have been retrieved that people still hold on to.
Did you know
that have been carbon dated?
Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know that there are over 31 churches in Europe that say that they have the Holy Prepuce? Do you know what the Holy Prepuce is?
No.
Ooh, who knows what the Holy Prepuce is? The foreskin of Jesus. Do you believe that they have the foreskin of Jesus?
No, I do not believe
You don't
that.
believe it?
I
But
do
they
not
have
believe
it.
they have the foreskin
But
of
they
Jesus.
have it.
But that's not my reputable source that I'm going
Oh,
with.
that's not a
That's
reputable source?
disgusting.
You better tell
That's
the leaders
disgusting.
of those churches.
I will tell the leaders
It's
of
a
those
holy
churches.
relic.
That is disgusting.
It is a holy
That's
relic.
Okay, so where's your stance on Jesus?
I gave you a very clear stance.
Go for it.
Jesus never died because Jesus never lived.
So you're
He is
saying,
a mythological figure.
but you're saying that the figure that was speaked about previously before Jesus, that also resurrected and went to hell, you're saying that figure
Asar
did.
is also a mythological figure.
So okay, I'm
I
just
want to be
confirming.
clear.
I'm
not arguing
just confirming
that Asar,
to see if you.
Some of you may know this name is Osiris. I am not saying that Asar or Osiris was a literal physical person. This is a mythological figure. And that story that you know as Jesus is an echo of an earlier story.
Correct.
And the reason why you don't know truly the story of Asar is because the early Christians destroyed it.
I do know of the stories of Osiris. I do know the stories of Amun-Ra. I have looked into the Book of Enoch. So I am in agreement.
The Book of Enoch has the story of
No,
Asar?
I'm not saying that. This is just another
Why
side.
you mention Enoch?
I'm just saying this as a side note, just in
Okay.
case if that's where you're going to go next.
No, I wasn't going to Enoch.
Just in case.
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking
I'm going to give you
precautions.
some credit
Hold on.
reading Enoch, by the way.
So, but okay, so I'm
because
saying
it's not in your canon.
So of course, but what I'm saying is I follow Christ in the sense of following the purposes and the practices that he spoke of, not following the entire book of Christianity.
Okay.
That's what I was being clear of in the beginning.
That's good.
So that's where I'm coming from on my practices.
So then you agree with me that Jesus is a mythological character?
I do not believe that he's a mythological
made a left.
character.
He
No,
made a left.
not a
Get
mythological
this man
character.
a GPS.
Not
so
a
explain
mythological
to me
character.
why
I did not
you
say that
believe
Jesus Christ
is a
lived in
historical
existence.
character.
Jesus Christ lived in the flesh.
Okay.
And that's why when you use his name to wrap up any of your words, it's a spiritual protection and guidance from any of the dark energies that are around you. Excuse me?
Take me to a gravesite.
He was at the tomb and he walked. That's why he doesn't have a gravesite. He's not dead. He still exists. And that's why he told you that you have that channeling. You have the power to go ahead and channel Jesus inside
His
of
body ascended into heaven.
Hold on. I didn't ask you to get upset. I asked you to take me to.
I didn't get upset.
I want to go see it.
He's
I wanna
not
put
dead.
flowers on the
He's
grave.
not dead. He left
I
the
wanna go
tomb.
put flowers on the tomb.
He left the tomb.
Take me to the tomb.
But he left the tomb.
Where is it? I want to go put flowers there in remembrance.
Okay.
Because my grandfather is dead. We know that he lived.
So we'll go
he
to
got a
Jerusalem.
tomb.
We'll go
I
there.
can go put it. I can go put some roses on.
But
there
how
right
do
now
you
if I
know
want
he's
to.
in there?
You can't take me there.
But you don't know he's in there.
He's
How
a
do you know?
mythological
How do you know your
character.
grandfather's in that grave?
Thank you, Jesus.
They could open
How
the
do you-
grave.
But
People open graves all the time.
and a lot of times bodies aren't inside of there, are they?
I don't know about a lot of times. Most times the bodies are still there.
How many times are they really opening these grave sites?
What do you mean? People get exhumed all the time.
But you're saying that they're opening them and there's always a body inside there.
No, I didn't say there was always. I said
Okay,
most of the time those
but
bodies
most of the time
are
there's
there.
also
And the
grave
thing is,
robbers, and they've also found out that they're harvesting
most
organs
of the
and
time
bodies.
there are grave robbers.
Go ahead. Yes.
Boy, you need some sources. bro.
Oh man. Okay.
Most of the time, family, you better get to the cemetery
Go ahead.
immediately.
Okay.
Because this brother,
Because-
Ro, just said that your grandpappy's body is missing.
That's
you better
okay.
get over there.
And if they find out that they are missing, then what? This is a part of the program.
Well, then maybe they'll call them Jesus because his body isn't here either.
Oh, okay.
Unless you believe in the Holy Prepuce.
But Jesus did walk afterwards. Did we see that Bible
Did
verse?
Jesus walk afterwards?
Yes, for John 20:24. Did we see
Can
that
I ask you a
Bible verse
question?
pop up yet? About
When
Thomas?
when was John written?
John was written hundreds of years after Jesus'
Okay.
existence.
And was it originally called the Book of John or called something
No,
else?
it was not originally called
So
the Book of
why
John.
are
That's
you
in the King
using
James.
an anonymous book from a later period as a source for historicity?
But we don't have any accurate sources then
Thank
for
you.
history.
You
if
said
that's-
something
But
correct.
no, what I'm saying, for all history.
No, not true.
For all history.
Not true.
Because what are you basing it off of?
Okay.
There's always translations.
Come
Everything
with me.
Everything
Come
has
with-
to be.
Come with me
Go ahead.
to Kemet, and
Yeah.
I will show you hundreds of bodies that have been studied of people who were buried.
But how do
And
you
we
know that
who
the
they
information
are.
is
Hold
accurate?
on. We know who they are. We even have bodies of their relatives, their ancestors. We have tombs. We have all of the material culture that exists. None of this we have for Jesus.
But
I
how
wanna-
do
let
you
me- let me
know
say
that those
something to
names
you.
are
Let me
correct?
say
How do
something
you
to
know that the history
There
is
were
correct?
early Christians that also argue what I am arguing, that Jesus was not a literal character.
I
And
understand that.
unfortunately, they actually were laughing at the people who were doing the historical orthodoxy. They were saying they have no idea what they're talking about. And then they realized they were being wiped out. You are actually following the tradition
Yeah.
of very powerful Europeans who sought to make this story literal.
But this story was also taken literal in Chinese culture, in African culture. There's different depictions of Jesus of multiple
When did Jesus
races.
get to China?
But I'm saying there's different
When
depictions
did
of Jesus
Jesus
in
get to
multiple
China?
races. You can go ahead and you can find the depictions of
When
Jesus.
did Jesus get to China?
It's not just white Jesus. You guys have this thing
Wait,
against white
when did
Jesus. There's different. No, he came.
Ro,
he's-
I knew
he's
your
of darker
great-great-grandfather.
skin.
I knew
he's of a
him.
darker skin.
I
I'm
knew your
telling you there's
great-great-grandfather.
different-
We used
Thank
to
you.
shoot
The
dice
Ethiopian
on the
Bible
corner.
exists. I don't
We used
understand
to
why
drink a little bit.
because of the fact that you guys are against white Jesus. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to be very clear.
Thank
I want
you.
to be very clear. If you were aware of the traditions that are earlier than Yeshua,
Yeah.
and then you looked at the clear paucity of evidence, of credible evidence for Jesus,
That it
and
possibly
then you
happened
looked at the
multiple
fact-
times.
Wait a minute. And
Go
then you
ahead.
looked at the fact that the early Christian church sought to destroy the Kemetic tradition, you would begin to say something smells fishy, and it would not have been the fishes multiplied by your Savior. You need to
appreciate the blasphemous
understand.
statement, but
Is
what
it
I'm
was
saying-
that blasphemous?
Yeah, that is blasphemous. But
Okay. What is blasphemy?
you're saying it in a sense to mock and disrespect.
No, I'm
the
not
name of
mocking.
Jesus?
I'm not mocking.
But
I'm
you
saying,
said the
I'm
fish,
saying
it
that
smells
that
fishy
tradition
like the fish.
is
Okay.
mythological, is what I'm
I
saying.
just feel like you have a very predetermined mindset,
Okay.
and I'm not in disagreement with it. What I'm saying to you is, if you're saying that it's falsified because it might have happened in different occasions in history.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, so I'm trying to clear it up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying that this happened previously before Christ, so it doesn't mean that it had to be true, because there's also history that Osiris went through the same resurrection process. Does that not mean that the resurrection process happens multiple times in existence of earth? That means that Simeon Toko can be another form of Jesus Christ. There can be other Jesus Christ that come in multiple fashions. It does not mean solely that that was the only time.
I think
Would you
this
be in
brother
agreement to that or
is
not?
Slowly coming to the light.
This is my point I've been
you
trying
are
to say.
Jesus and you are Asar,
I
but
am
neither
Jesus.
of them are literal. Neither of them are historical. I'm
So
not
why?
saying- I'm
how
not
is it
saying-
not
I wanna be
historical
clear.
if it's not?
I'm not saying
we're covering
I'm not-
it now. This is a
I'm
part of
not
history.
saying- I'm not saying that you can't actually say that you are a follower of Jesus or a follower of Asar.
Right.
I'm just saying when you try to make it a historical story, you do that with overwhelming religious bias. And when you look at the historical analysis, there was no Jesus.
But if is different coverage that's beyond history from the Bible, does that still not count as history? If other people are reporting and covering and talking about Jesus, we're in the year 2026 AD.
How many-
Anno
how many-
Domini.
how many-
Hold on 1 second. We're in 2026 AD.
How-
We're all in agreement to this. If we're not in 2026, what year are we in?
Wait.
Can you tell me what year is China in?
Wait, let's
But that's still
But
AD,
let's say something
right?
very
Is it still
clearly.
AD? Is it still not Anno Domini de Jesus Christi?
It's 13 months actually, so you got to go by the correct calendar. Right?
So-
if you're going by 12 months, there's no 12
Sure.
months. There's no 12-month cycle.
But it's still
13
AD,
month
right?
cycle. No, it's 1446. That's the year.
1446. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, you got to take away the time they stole. You got to take away the fact that it's actually 13 months. So take away all of that, right? And then we take away the time they stole and they replace history, you're going to come up to the same year.
Of 1446. I please would like to see the math on that.
just told you.
But
Well, I'm going
what
to tell
year
you
would
something
say we're in?
interesting.
Go
I'm going
ahead.
to tell you something interesting. All of the texts that you're referencing,
Mm-hmm.
none of them actually were written at the time that Jesus existed. And many of them, we have earlier versions of them that are different than the versions we read now. And there were entire books that were left out of the canon,
That's
the
correct.
Bible that you read.
That's correct.
Aren't you at this point where you don't trust the institution that gave you that book?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Of course.
So then why are you citing the book that they gave you as proof?
You asked me the source, and that's the
But
physical
wait.
source.
Here's the question.
That's the physical
Why
source. Now, if you'd
are
like to know my
you-
spiritual source,
Why
that's
are you?
different.
No, I'm not asking for your spiritual source.
Right. So
That's
I gave you
another
the,
matter.
but I
That's
gave you
another
the,
matter.
but I gave you the physical source.
I'm saying that source is not a good historical source. That's what I'm saying to you. It wasn't written during the time that Jesus lived.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly wasn't written by someone named John.
Of course not. These names were interpreted later
So
on
then
under
why
King
are you
James.
using them as a historical source?
You asked me for because it's still written in a
So
part of
get-
history.
How many,
this was
how
still
many
once
comics do
studied.
you think there are of Peter Parker Spider-Man? More
There
than
are
25,000?
There are multiple interpretations of Peter Parker.
Peter
You're
Parker
absolutely correct.
Spider-Man is a
Yeah.
historical character then.
Yeah, he is a part of history because he does exist.
No,
does
no,
he
no,
not?
no, no, no.
Does
no,
he
no,
not
no, no.
exist?
We're talking
Do the
about
comics
a
not exist?
literal historical
If you
figure.
can say a physical date for the creation of Peter Parker, he exists.
So then you believe
So
that
if we
Zeus
have
existed.
hold on,
So you
yes,
believe that
in
Zeus
the sense
existed?
that he did. This is
You
a
believe that
form of a
Zeus
demigod.
existed?
This is a form of a demigod as well.
Who's a
I
form
know
of
they
demigod?
call
Jesus
him
is a
god.
demigod?
No, I said Zeus. You
Zeus
asked
is a
me about-
demigod.
You're asking me about Zeus.
Uh-oh. It seems like he has to go back and learn Greek history.
No, I understand that Hercules is deemed a demigod, but I'm saying a demigod in the sense of the
So
fallen
you believe that
angels.
Zeus existed?
Hold on. The fallen angels that came down to earth that had sex with humans, and they were,
Fallen
of course,
angels. You're mixing a lot of stuff together.
No, this is talked about inside the Bible as well, and this
Fallen-
is where we have these
Yeah, but you're not
demigods
going to look
from.
at the Bible
That's
for
what
information
Zeus
around
is.
Zeus. So you believe that
But
Zeus
I'm
is a,
saying that
so
the
you
existence
believe,
of Zeus exists. You see
you
these two
believe
different
that
history
Zeus
pieces.
is a literal historical figure. That's
yes,
what you're saying.
Sure, go ahead. Yes,
You do?
yes. I
Boy,
don't think he
it's-
can shoot
I'm
lightning.
telling you, it's not
I don't think
Sunday,
he
but
can
they're
shoot
not going to let
lightning.
you back at church on Sunday.
Go. For
You're
it.
there, not going to let
These
you in.
different religions
They gonna
all
say, "Oh, no, we
correspond and they
closed, Brother
overlap at once. No, I would like to know his sources.
Bro, if you just switch it right now, you know everything he's saying. You just on that side, so you're trying to go against it when you should.
Religious bias.
I feel you.
Because you're not a fucking Christian.
I follow Christ. I'm not a Christian in the sense of going to the church. I follow Christ.
You're not a Christian.
Christianity is following Jesus Christ.
Gnostic.
No, I'm not a Gnostic. I believe in following
He
Jesus
said a bunch
Christ
of
and the
things that were
consciousness
Gnostic.
of Christ.
Everything you have said has been Gnostic.
He said a bunch of things that
I follow
you said a
Christ.
bunch of things that
I
wouldn't be
follow
accepted in the
Christ.
modern church.
I understand that, and that's why I have issues with the pastors in the modern church. I have issues with
Issues
some of
with them lying about a historical figure that is a mythological figure?
no.
Okay, so that's probably the
I have
problem you should
issues
have
with making
them.
profit on the name of God and the name of Jesus.
Okay.
I have issues with making a mockery of it, and I have issues that they're going ahead and they're perpetrating and pushing through different verses like in Leviticus that tell you about being a good slave. I don't go hand in hand with those. I know that that's from the manipulation of the book that's been indoctrinated across the land. I have an issue with
That's a
that.
good start. That's a good
But
start.
I'm saying I am a follower of Christ.
Okay, but you can be a follower of Christ. We're
Right.
talking about
Right,
we're
so that
talking
is a
about whether-
Christian.
We're talking about whether Christ was a literal historical living
Yes.
person.
So
that's
they-
what we're talking about.
so let me
I'm
go
not
ahead.
I'm not saying you can't be a follower
Right,
of
okay.
Christ. I would
So-
never say that to
So
you.
thank you. So
I'm
now
just
that
saying
we're back on the bias.
Jesus didn't die because he never lived. Are you forgetting the prompt?
I know. I'm not forgetting the prompt. I'm back to you.
Okay.
So they recorded for 33 AD that
Yep.
there was a sun moon.
Who
there was a
recorded that?
blood moon. They recently just released this information
Okay.
that there was a confirmed blood moon that was
Okay.
talked about on the night of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That was a part of a satanic ritual. Jesus Christ was killed for a satanic ritual.
Where you get that from? Whoa, you going? He's going
This
even
is for-
farther afield than I am.
I'm
They are
not.
not going to let you
I'm
get into
telling
church
you.
on Sunday.
That's fine.
Come to the
Because-
shrine. We'll let you in. We'll let you in.
Look, man, I like you, and I don't
I
have
like
no
you
issue
too.
with
We-
it.
we're
But
gonna-
I do understand
Right.
where you stand on this.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you that you can fact check that as well for 33 AD.
So you're
's
suggesting that if
blood
there
moon.
was a blood moon,
Yes, that was discussed.
that
about.
that means that Jesus literally was crucified at that time.
Yes.
Do you know that when you
They
read
documented-
wait, listen.
Yes, go
when
ahead.
you read comic books about Peter Parker, Spider-Man, they often use historical events. I have a cover of Peter Parker meeting Barack Obama. I think we both agree that Barack Obama is a literal figure, right?
Correct.
So does that mean that Spider-Man is a literal figure, someone that actually lived?
Do you agree that Pilate was a literal figure?
I think that we have proof now that Pilate was a literal figure.
Okay, but he interacted with Jesus Christ, and he was the one behind the execution.
So then you
of
believe
him.
that Peter
So would
Parker?
you-
Wait.
Go ahead. I like where you're going. Go
So
ahead.
then you're saying you believe that Peter Parker Spider-Man is literally someone who lived
Did Peter Parker in real life not meet Barack Obama?
in real? What do you mean
Tom
by
Holland.
real life?
Tom Holland, the actor, did. So he still met Barack
I
Obama.
don't know if Tom Holland met Barack Obama.
He did.
Did he? Did he play Jesus too?
He didn't play
if he played
Jesus.
Jesus, we would.
But in the sense of your
we
question,
would turn off the podcast and watch a film.
But Spider-Man did meet Barack Obama in that sense.
So that means that
can
you
not
believe that
be-
Peter
can that not
Parker-
mean that art and history cannot exist in one?
What I'm saying to
These
you,
comics can also be the
what I'm
same
saying to you
depiction of
is,
something that is
I
real.
think
I
that you're
agree.
losing the point that we're
I'm
making.
not.
Let's wrap this
Jesus
up.
Christ did exist. Go ahead.
The point that we are making is that Jesus Christ was not a literal physical person. That's the point we're making. Is there a mythological story about him? Of course there is. Of course there is. And I even think there's wisdom to be learned by his story. But when we try to make that story literal, historical, we have problems.
So what proof do you have that disproves that Jesus exists?
I just told you. Just
because you haven't found anything.
The first thing
so if
is,
you don't find anything, that means it doesn't
wait.
exist.
It's not just not finding things. It's also looking at the fact that much of his story was told in an earlier tradition, and then the people that told you that there was a literal Jesus sought to wipe out that tradition.
I understand. So
right off the bat, you should say something is fishy here.
I understand what you're saying, but the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Something can still be there.
Okay. Let's move on. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps us grow the show and helps us get bigger guests. Thank you so much.
If you said that beings here are in taking blood or in taking life force energy from, let's just say, the youth or to stay around longer, right? You said Earth is a prison planet, so why they not trying to die?
I'm gonna ask you a question. You said a lot of things. I know niggas in prison that don't want to get out, but you said something about. Repeat your question.
Why are they usurping
Not
energy
about the
from
blood.
Why do they need blood to live longer if this is a prison planet and they want to die?
You said nobody said nobody want to die. You said it's not possible.
No, I'm asking why they not trying to get up out of here like this. If you look at the
Why
if
you
you look
ask-
at hold on. If you look at, like, let's just say Egyptians, right? Just so everybody understand what I'm saying. If you look at Egyptians, they studied how to die and not come back, right?
I don't think
So
you get it.
why is beings here usurping adrenochrome to stay here longer?
No one studied how to die. That thing that you just said was kind of like
transcend, whatever you
Yeah,
wanna say.
exactly. So nobody studied how to die. See, a lot of people think that they was born dying, but then that's because they dead. Listen, I'm gonna say this. What I was talking about was stem cells, gang. That's inside of
Like a petri dish.
no, I'm talking about stem cells that's inside of your blood that they use in order to keep youth in the body. See, when you're talking, you're trying to confuse a lot of different things. You're trying to confuse the spiritual reality with the physical reality, right? I'm talking about this reality as far as the physical reality. Right now, they're taking synthetic cells and putting them inside your body.
Right.
They creating them.
Foods,
They-
bioengineered ingredients.
Yeah.
When you look at the back of your Lay's,
Yeah,
you know what
I'm
saying?
talking
Eating
about
fake
that.
strawberry.
Yeah, I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about what you think I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual way
But you said
so your body
if they
won't
wanna
age.
if they want to live longer, they gonna keep drinking the blood, right? They gonna keep usurping it. We in Babylon, right? Everybody can agree on that. We in a modern day Babylon.
Who said that? You said that.
I said that.
I say right now. See, listen.
But I'm gonna tell you why we in a modern day Babylon. You look at the flag, right? The LTTT flag. I'm just gonna say that y'all understand what I'm saying, right? It's flipped upside down because the chakra color is at the bottom. So you see the
Right.
purple crown frequency is sitting
Right.
at the bottom, right?
Right.
And the red root chakra is at the top.
Right.
What run the land right now? Degeneracy, debauchery, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
To say all of that, you had to think about it right now. To say all of you just said, you had to think about it right now.
I have to think about it or pull it from my memory.
You had to say it right now. It only existed right now. There's no way, even right now, if you're gonna say, okay, cool, something gonna happen in the future. When you get to the future, it's gonna only be right now. All we have is right now.
We talking about right now. We in Babylon.
But
it's
you're using
the Pride Month right now.
But you using things from different realities that's also happening that don't have nothing to do with this
we in a
reality.
multiverse.
But you're here right now. That cannot help you right now. See,
Why I can't?
Because listen, I'm gonna say this. Information can't help you right now. Only thing that can help you right now is
Information can always help you if it's being applied.
Only thing that can help you right now is the fact you understand yourself and learn how to deal with you, right? Because a lot of people want to worry about information, but information can't help you. I know a lot of niggas that think they smart. They read a whole lot of fucking books. It don't help.
It don't help.
Listen, the only thing that's gonna help you is to take control of you, to understand that it's only you, and information can't help you, right? Listen, a lot of people assume that information is good, but they're gonna pass you information, you're gonna forget you. All I'm gonna say is this. Only thing that we both can prove right now that we're sitting across from each other in this moment.
Yeah.
Anything else that you saying, we can't even say that it happened.
So
only by another man's
idea. So who made the prompts?
What's a prompt?
You playing delusional.
No,
bro.
I'm asking you what's a prompt. Explain to me what a prompt is.
A prompt is a set of questions.
Now ask your question again.
What is a prompt?
The question is the answer. Right? I don't think you understand, because a lot of people say a lot of things, but once you say it, you already told yourself the answer, because everything exists inside you.
On the prompt, it say that you agree that we live in a simulation planet, right? We live in a simulation, Earth simulation. 607 Unc, the character, agreed to a simulation
Who said
planet,
it? Who
right?
told you? Did you hear it come out my
It's
mouth?
written on the paper.
But did you see or hear me say it? Listen, he just sat here and said that Jesus was here and nobody can understand and validate
Jesus,
that.
there's no historical
that paper
figure
don't
in the
mean
sky
that paper
named
suggests
Jesus,
that I said that. It don't mean that I
They
said
didn't
that.
even use J's in the alphabet, bro.
He said that. He put that there. Them are his thoughts. Them are not mine. So we're here having a conversation. So
But you agreed to it when you sat down and spoke with me.
No. I didn't agree. I agreed to sit down.
You agreed with the prompts.
No, I agreed to sit
You
down.
made a spiritual contract.
No.
You sat down or you walked
I
out.
agreed to sit down.
Okay.
Right? And I'm agreements to this conversation.
Right.
Right? I have not heard a topic.
Okay, so let me see that prompt, bro. My first claim, 607 Unc versus 10. It said, this is why I said 607 Unc, because I already said my. It didn't say first claim, is that it says my first claim, unless he didn't spoofed you or jugged you or what it's called, defrauded you, your my.
Right.
It says my first claim is that Earth is a prison planet, right? So why is there beings here usurping blood to stay here longer? It can't be that fucked
Listen,
up.
I'm gonna say this. Listen, I'm gonna say this again. For me, I know niggas that's better in prison. Right? They go to prison. I'm free. They go to prison and they better in prison, because no matter where you go, it's a prison. Relationship of prison.
Right.
You go in a relationship and it get.
But you could be in a relationship and be free in your mind.
But not at 3 o'clock in the morning. Even if you ain't doing that, you're gonna go start tripping, because this girl gonna be tripping. The thought will go in your mind, because she gonna think you doing something else. You are in her prison. Trust is a prison.
So if I end that relationship where the prison stand, I'm free now?
No. There you go. Freedom is peace. Relationships is prison, because I'm gonna tell you about relationship, because it's trust, right? You say trust is good. Everybody like, man, I want to trust everybody. I can't do that. Fuck trust, because I only trust the fact that whatever you do, I trust in the fact that I'm gonna be okay with it, right? And whatever decision you make is good for you. I can't make
But through
decision
your
for
journey, you was able to access peace or freedom, right? So why can't I access freedom on Earth?
It's kind of crazy, because what journey? Because like, again, if left and right is different, I suggest that nothing is ever moving, that it's never a journey. I suggest that everything is at a standstill and everything's happening in the mind. That's what I suggest, right?
Okay.
Because I don't think nobody can prove that anything is moving. Because right now they say the earth moving, but you got other people that prove that it's not. Right now you got people saying the earth is flat. You got other people that prove that it's not.
But it don't matter.
No, because earth is not a location.
Right.
So I think everybody get it wrong when they try to make it a location and try to make it a shape. Earth is a shapeshifter.
So do you think it's like an architect of the Matrix? Like how they show
Earth is a shapeshifter. It changed with the thoughts.
But the reason why I asked you, do you think it's an architect of the Matrix? Because who's setting up a simulation? A programmer.
Oh, no,
So who the fuck is that?
No, everybody think that because it's a program that they got to have a programmer. That's what you suggest. But the way it's no programmer. But if you want to call it a programmer, we got to call that programmer God. But it's
God?
not. But it's not a God that's
Or the
making a
creator,
decision.
prime source.
Listen, whatever you want to call it,
It's
God,
some shit, right?
creator.
But it's guys that run on this
Abraxas.
planet. It's guys that run on this planet that's okay, right?
But listen, everything is God, because listen, everything exists inside of God. So if you take one,
Let me say this. I think of God as generator, operator, destroyer of my realm when I think of the word God, right?
then that's God.
But the creator, I didn't create my heartbeat. I didn't create my heart. I didn't create none of how my body is.
Right.
Who designed this? Okay, somebody designed this table, right?
Right.
Who designed these human suits?
That's what caused a lot of stress. See, a lot of people think that, listen, I'm gonna say this. Right now, if people walked outside and it was $1 million on their doorstep, they're gonna just spend it. They're gonna enjoy it. They're not gonna say, who sent me this money? Now they're gonna spend all the time in their head like, who sent me this money?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Human perception is to want to know too much. You hear too observe this reality, right? You're here to enjoy this reality, right? You're here to feel emotions, both fear, pain, all of them you're here to feel, but you're not here to live in
So
any
I'm not
of them.
supposed to overstand.
No, you
Like when you say, okay, so I grew up in like, I'm not NOI or nothing, but my dad taught me like 1 through 9, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, all that NOI type of information, because
Right.
he came up off that too, right? But what I'm trying to say is, I had a brain fart, I ain't gonna lie.
No, you never brain farts. What you just happened is you just switch realities, right? A lot of people understand it, and it go on in your mind. We switch realities all day,
It wasn't
right?
meant to be said.
It probably was, but you just switched realities, right? But it was said in a different reality,
reality,
right?
right.
But listen, people don't understand that. A lot of people want this just to be one thing, but if it just be one thing, then it'd just be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
You can't stay here so long. A lot of people want to say that this is infinite. No, it's not infinite. It's infinite possibilities, right? A lot of things can happen here infinite amount of times. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for staying all the way to the end, guys. It means a lot to me. If you could please leave a review on Apple, that helps us climb the charts. It helps us get way more guests, and it helps us continue growing the podcast and the team. So it would mean a lot to me if you left a review on Apple or wherever else you're listening. Thanks so much. One of the top debaters on the 1 on 10 series.
Really?
Thanks for coming, bro.
Anytime, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. What do you disagree with Unc on?
Well, I was reacting to the last prompt about Jesus not being a real person,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of historical evidence to Jesus actually having existed. I don't know about the 25,000 documents and stuff.
It said
but
about 8,000 on the AI.
8,000, but like you have like the Shroud of Turin, for example, where you have something that is a nuclear fusion that happens with this man's body, so it literally prints on the actual fabric, which I don't think there's ever been a human in history that has gone through nuclear fusion. And we're talking about a photocopy from 2,000 years ago of this man's
And
body.
it had the face on there.
It had the face, it had the wounds.
Let me ask you one question. The face that was on there, I know what you're talking about. That face looked just like the face that was painted of Jesus that was not Jesus. That was the face that looked like yours, right? Because that's the face they put next to it. But that's not Jesus. So whoever that was, it was not Jesus. And that is proven that Jesus didn't have your face. Because
How is that proven?
history, they just proved it because where he was from, where he grew up at, and it was hot as hell over there. How the fuck can he be pale? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, my ancestors are from places that
But
are hot as in hell,
I
but
don't
like
think you
they're
get
Caucasian.
hair of wool. Hair of wool.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Hair of wool.
What is that? Hair or wool?
That what Jesus had.
Okay.
Do you have hair of wool?
What is hair
Do you
of
even
wool
have hair
exactly?
at all?
Oh, I don't actually.
No, you don't. Listen, I don't understand. So listen, I'm just saying. According to the fact that
What is hair of wool? What does that mean, though?
listen. According to what you said, you believe that Jesus existed. The Bible also gave a description. They told you how Jesus looked, and the blanket that you suggest was Jesus. That also put a face in front of it. The face in front of it was different than the way they described Jesus in your Bible. So who was under that blanket?
Well, the question to me is, what's the coincidence that literally 2,000 years ago, right around the time that this dude dies, where he's resurrected, there's an actual...
You didn't answer the question. Why is the face different?
See, but you're already coming to the conclusion that the face is described wrong.
They took the picture of the face. That's what they did. That's why everybody comes to the conclusion. They took the picture of Jesus painting that was that was not Jesus, and they took the blanket.
Wait, which
and they
picture
put
are
them
you
together.
talking about?
Listen, the picture with the blonde hair and the blue eyes.
But that's not what the Shroud of Turin
But
shows.
that's the
Shroud of
one
Turin
that they
shows
put
a-
together.
that
That's the
shows
one they
like
put
more
together.
of a Arabic-looking
No,
man.
they did not. They showed that same fucking Jesus. Pull it up.
Says
No, pull
the
it up,
Shroud
yeah,
of Turin
pull it
was
up. I mean, Shroud of
carbon-dated.
Turin is very ethnic-looking.
But
man.
it's gonna
not-
be
not
it's
your
gonna be
typical white
it's
boy.
gonna show a white Jesus. I say Chinese people are white too, but the white people won't accept them. Right? Listen, I say that everything pale is white. Right? Everything that don't have hair is white, and everything that don't have hair is human, and it's
Is
different
it?
from me.
Does it say right here?
Yeah,
That's the Shroud of
that's
Turin.
not Jesus.
I mean,
That's the fake Jesus.
But like, how does that line?
Because
with
that's the
the
fake.
resurrection?
Look at the face. That's the fake one that's on everything. That's not Jesus. So how can you say that's your proof?
I'm seeing a
Get the
Middle
fuck
Eastern-
outta
I'm
here.
seeing a Middle Eastern man with a
But
big
that's
nose.
listen.
That's not a white man.
Listen,
That's a there's.
Do me
the
one
way-
favor. Do me one favor.
Yeah.
Do me one favor, right? And I'm gonna say this. I'm not telling you that Jesus did not exist. So let's start. Everything that you learn from Jesus, accept it. It's real, right? But what you're trying to describe right now and suggest cannot be accurate, and you got to look at
How
the
could it
facts
not be accurate,
because that face, right, is a painted face.
Is a
That
what face?
is a painted face that do not describe the way it was written in the Bible. And if you describe the way it's written in the Bible and put it beside that face, you will have a difference.
So what is that? What is that from 2,000 years ago?
You got to
What-
tell me I ain't do it, right? It's not Jesus, right? It's not
it's been
Jesus.
shroud- It's been carbon dated. Yeah. It's right around the time of the resurrection.
It says 1260 to 1390
No,
CE.
check
Listen.
out the updated carbon.
Listen,
dating.
the
They
point that
done
doesn't listen.
actual-
Look, that doesn't matter. Listen, all that y'all worrying about the wrong shit. The only thing that matters is a different fucking face. That's all that matters.
Hey, let me ask you this.
What matters is the fucking face is different, gang. So
Different to what, though?
Listen,
Different
different
to
from
your
the
perception.
different from the perception of what they say and who they say is Jesus.
But you guys
When
just
they put
talked
that
about how
there,
they've altered the Bible so
Listen,
much. Could it have been
listen.
that they altered it to make him look a lot more Caucasian than he actually was? Because that man looks like an Arabic, Italian-looking
Listen,
dude.
I'm
He
not-
doesn't look like a white
listen,
person.
listen, I'm gonna say it again. White is white, no matter how you put
That's
it.
not- that's not-
but
that's
I'm
not
saying
true.
that
That's not
face. Listen,
Yeah.
that face is the same painted face that everybody in the world know now was a fake picture. So that itself, who the fuck is that? Right? That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna say this: you gotta understand this. The things that Jesus taught. Like I don't want people serious. Oh man, I believe in the things that Jesus taught. Right? Jesus taught the kingdom of heaven within. Jesus said, "What I do, all men can do." Right? Jesus did not say, "Pray to me." Jesus didn't even want to do shit for his mama.
Yeah.
Right? I'm keeping it real. So you got to understand this. So if you want Jesus, I'm going to take you to him. But the problem is up your ass.
Jesus is
That's the only
man.
problem. Yeah, it's inside you. All right?
Well, it's in your
yeah.
the kingdom of God is within you. I don't know if it's in
Yeah,
my ass. Or maybe
you ain't
here,
never heard the
but,
pastor.
you know.
You ain't never heard the pastor. You ain't never heard the pastor when Jesus came in me. That's all the pastor's talking about.
All right, so
Jesus
let me-
coming in him.
Your guy was
Yeah,
saying, your guy was saying that
Hallelujah. Thank
your
you,
guy,
Lord.
Your guy was saying that he's a historical figure. He doesn't really exist.
No, I'm saying this. I'm saying this. Everything. Do me a favor. I can show you where everything at right now. Everything exists only one place. Even if you close your eyes, it's still there. Everything exists in your mind. Whatever you think it is, right? Jesus' consciousness is available to you, but only when you accept it and put it in you.
I
When
believe
you take it and say, Jesus, help me, and you put it outward, it do no good for you, right? Because you're begging. I'm not begging for shit, right? Because you gotta understand the universe don't work that way. Because like it doesn't matter if you pray 1,000,000 times, if you go outside and don't look both ways, you're gonna get hit by a car. Prayer won't stop that. Awareness will, right? So everybody is worrying about the wrong thing. Life is about awareness. It ain't about no fucking prayer. You can pray all you want, right? But the fact is you have to be aware. And listen, if you want it to be Jesus in your mind, all I'm gonna tell you is follow him then.
I mean, I don't even care what Jesus looks like. I'm just saying, like,
Follow
the
him
fact
then.
that
Listen,
there's a
we can
shroud of
debate.
Turin-
We can debate about what he
ask
looks
you
like.
this,
Follow
though.
him.
Let me ask you this, because your friend was saying that this is not a real person, Jesus, right? Do you agree with that?
No, he said it's you. Right? Listen,
Did he physically exist 2,000 years ago? Is my question.
did humans physically exist 2,000 years ago?
Yeah.
Then I suggest yes.
So you
But
think there was a real Jesus?
I suggest that Jesus is consciousness. I suggest that everything is Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But do you think that there was a man that came, like, was crucified, came back to life 2,000 years ago? Do you believe in that?
I believe
concept?
I believe a lot of men died, right? I believe crucifixion was a thing that a lot of people did, and I believe that everybody died was a man. If you say that it was a man, and I believe that everybody had Jesus in them.
Do you think Jesus came back to life? Do you think Jesus defeated death?
I think that everybody defeat death because I think nothing dies.
No. There's no. Who's defeated death? There's
Everybody.
only been one figure that's defeated
Everybody.
death.
Listen, that's a lie. Did you know that? Did you know they got defeated by? They defeated death like this. So they was in a tomb in Egypt one time, and they saw a bug, and this bug had ate a plant, and it died, and it came back alive in 3 days. And then after they did that, they made the chemical out of that same shit, and then they died and came back up in 3 days.
we've never
Hold
seen
up.
humans die.
They saw it. They recorded it. They saw it. He died, came back up.
Human.
Listen, no, it was a female. It was a woman. She died, came back up in 3 days, and when she came back, she was enlightened. It was the resurrection. Right? So resurrection happened before Jesus. Right? Listen, it's good to die on purpose. Right? Listen, I don't think you understand, gang. When you dream, you be in a different reality, but when you die, it's kind of like different. Right? But that's the thing. That's a sport. That's what people do. That's what you did to be enlightened. Right now, it's certain traditions and certain monks that you can't actually get unless you die, meaning that you astral project, meaning that you take your soul out of your body and you're able to look at it. That means you're dead. It's several levels to this, and I don't think you understand. It's different levels of consciousness, right? And Jesus is a level of consciousness. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they harness the power of Jesus, right? And wherever Jesus go, the collection play follow.
So
and you paying for a
the
subscription
collection
to
plate
Jesus. You paying for a subscription to Jesus, gang.
I don't know. That's a corruption.
It's
of
a
the
subscription.
church.
No.
Let me ask you this though. Like, why do we hear that this man had 12 disciples? We know he had disciples. We know that disciples traveled all around the Middle East and Near East. We know that, for example, Saint Bartholomew landed around the Caucasus Mountains, right? The dude got skinned alive because he was a Christian. While he's getting skinned alive, this man is singing hymns, Saint Bartholomew, one of the disciples of Jesus. So while this man is getting skinned alive, he's singing hymns to God. So to me, there's something supernatural about that. It ain't like some, person.
Who told you that?
Story. That's a real story.
Who
Saint
told
Bartholomew.
you that?
Look it up. Read about Saint Bartholomew.
I said, who told you that?
I mean, I've read it in history books. I'm of Armenian
In what book?
descent.
In what
I'm
book?
of Armenian descent. This is the whole story about how Armenia became Christian.
Okay. And what book?
300
And what book did you read it?
I mean, these are like manuscripts, Armenian manuscripts. You can look them up, dude. Google it. Saint Bartholomew.
No,
Armenian
I'm not asking Google. I'm asking you. In what book did you use it?
These are Armenian manuscripts from old Armenian monks that were around. I mean, this is an ancient culture. So these people are around while this was going on. They have actual testimonials about the Saint Bartholomew guy literally getting skinned alive.
Question. Is every book fact?
I mean,
what makes a book fact?
I mean, we could use that standard on everything because we weren't there. Like
you say what? Hold on. Go back. You can use that standard on everything. You wasn't there 2,000 years ago.
I wasn't there.
So why the fuck do it matter now?
I mean, what to me is like when you have 12 individuals that are ready to be killed and tortured in the most heinous ways.
That's a lie. Jesus said, before the clock crow twice, you would deny me 3 times, and they denied him. Nobody's ready to fucking die for Jesus. Right? The disciples were ready to die for Jesus. The disciples ran and hid.
No, but then
they all ran and hid.
But then the disciples went around preaching, and they all got killed because they were preaching.
I knew a lot of niggas. I knew a lot of niggas that do it in the hood. When the gunfire run off, they go back outside, nigga. When it was drama time, the motherfucker disciples that you call disciples, they ran, and Jesus knew that they was gonna run.
But then
according to Jesus,
then he was resurrected.
Well,
that showed him that he defeated
that's according to what text you
That showed him that he defeated death. That gave him conviction to die for their cause, and you don't die for nothing.
You ever heard of Gnostics?
Yeah, of course.
They got a different story of Jesus' resurrection and Jesus being killed. They said Jesus never died, right? And listen,
that story,
listen, I'm just saying. I don't think you understand. So there's a lot of different stories, a lot of different things you can say, but I think the only thing that matter here today is you. Right? So I think we can all sit here and say, okay, Jesus has some good stories. You think Jesus has some good stories, take them and put it into you. But nothing gonna help you unless you decide to take it right now and move that way right now.
No, I believe that. I mean, kingdom of God is within you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Jesus said. Jesus never asked nobody to worship him, never asked nobody to pray for him, never asked none of that shit.
I agree with that.
Right? So I'm just saying, so when they do that, that's for separation and control. Right? The church do that for control. They do that for separation. I'm not saying you shouldn't believe in Jesus. Everybody should have belief, because belief is first. Belief in what man thinks is true. But once you believe in Jesus and you truly believe in Jesus, you're gonna understand that that's a myth. Yeah. But that's not gonna stop you from understanding that the consciousness is here and that you can tap into it. That ain't gonna stop you from understanding that.
I think could I segue real quickly to the other
wrap
prompt?
it up,
The other prompt that I think ties in with this is, are we in a prison planet? And I think the answer of that is yes. I think Jesus was brought down almost like a Neo from the Matrix. I hate to give a pop culture reference to basically show us that this is all BS. Everything. It's all.
So you know the problem is with Christians and Muslims, and even when Rose sat here, they all want to take bits and pieces of everything to try to justify what they believe, because that's what the brain do. See what the brain do. The brain is going to put together every piece it can to prove to you that what you thinking is correct. That's how your brain is programmed. Right? That's your brain itself. Yep. See, right now, he is getting information from everywhere. He's talking about Jesus' existence, but he's going to prove something from over here as a fact. But if you take everything with it, and that's also going to prove that he didn't, but he did, but he didn't. So look, I'm saying, but the Matrix, they talk about a movie, so they're gonna put Jesus in the movie. So if you could put Jesus in the movie, then Jesus in the movie got to be the same.
No,
right? How can you do it?
The whole point of the Bible is that we're in the Satan's playing ground. That's what the Bible says. We're in Satan's playing ground. So when you look at something like the Matrix, and it's telling you how everything is a fabrication, everything is made to corrupt, everything is made to steal the rules.
Right.
And you look at our Federal Reserve, that's what that is. That is a complex plan to basically make us all
So
slaves.
the plan.
And when Jesus came and he told us, look, man, this is all a matrix.
Hold up, go back.
Yes.
He said the plan here is to make us all the slaves.
Yeah, and this
So
is a prison
everything here is to make us the slaves.
plan. Yeah, 100%.
How did you hear about Jesus?
What do you mean, how did I hear?
How did you hear about it?
Well,
Oh.
Yeah,
How did you hear about it?
I mean, through family tradition. through my
How did they hear about it?
My grandma.
From here.
Yeah,
From the prison.
from prison. Yeah.
Listen, everything inside prison is the prison.
Because the human
You
spirit
said,
is
hold
out
up,
of
you,
escaping
but you
slavery.
said,
That's what we're
you
trying to do.
said that it's a prison,
Yeah.
right? And you said that you heard something from a prison. So you just said everything that you said and agreed with everything I said. So why you not sitting over here with me? Come over, sit on my lap.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, except I think Jesus was a real person. I think Jesus was a Neo that came here to teach us that this is all BS, to tell us that the kingdom of God is within us, to break down these walls that humans create to cause constant friction, and that's why he's
Well, that's crazy because I'm Jesus. You ain't know that.
Yeah.
You sitting across from Jesus. I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
Right? Because people don't understand it. I
Could
do
you make
miracles.
some water into wine, bro?
Ask niggas in the hood what I do with some water and some
need
baking
some
soda.
fish.
Right? Ask them in the hood what I do. No, for real. Listen, when I'm in the hood, I'm known for creating miracles. Nigga, I'm Jesus in the hood, right?
You could make trouts and
nigga,
stuff,
I could turn one fish to 500 too, nigga. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. Everything Jesus did, I can do. But listen, I'm a fisherman of men now. It's a difference. But I can survive. I can survive everything. I can do miracles. I can do all of the things that Jesus did. It's nothing that Jesus did that I couldn't do. Right? But that's what I'm telling you. But you possess the same power, but you want to keep on giving the power to Jesus, so be it then.
No, that's not what. No, I think the kingdom of God is within us, but I think these bodies are not.
So
enough for us
why
to
does it
even-
matter?
Because we can't ever become like Jesus. We just can't.
You
That's
can,
like,
that's
that,
lie.
that is like.
So listen. So how can you say you believe in Jesus? Jesus said, "What I do,
Well,
all
he-
men
he
can
was-
do."
He was without sin, so already I'm
he-
behind the
No,
8 ball.
no,
on
he-
that.
if he-
'Cause
listen,
I
Jesus said-
I probably screwed up a
Oh,
lot.
look,
Like, I was never without sin.
all right. Jesus said, "What sin lie at?" Right? I can prove to everybody. 'Cause everybody said Jesus didn't sin, but I can prove to everybody Jesus sinned. What Jesus tell you to sin lie at? Jesus described you what a sin lie at. Jesus said the sin lie in what? The thought, right? Jesus was tested by who? The devil with bad thoughts, right? That was sinning. Jesus was a sinner too, right? Because Jesus described you what a sin was. He said, act of the thought. The moment he was tempted by the devil, he was sinning.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he was
he
sinning.
wasn't tempted though. He still
No,
rejected
he was tempted
the
because he
devil.
told him to do it. He knew that it was there. The moment that you know that it's there, you know that it's sin there, you know that it's there, it's in your mind, then you're doing it. Because that's what Jesus suggested. And he said, throw the first rock. Right?
All right.
So
If you're without
you got
sin,
yeah, because no one is without sin, not even Jesus.
Okay.
And he documented his sin.
Final point, then.
Man, I don't know if I have one, dude. I just think Jesus was a real he was Jesus, and I get what you're saying.
Jesus was
by
a
the way,
real
bro, where
sinner
it's
like all the rest of us if he
these
existed.
These were
Yeah.
other like you heard other Jesus-like characters. I've heard about in ancient Egypt how there was. I still don't think that negates the fact that Jesus was real, and I do believe that the Shroud of Turin was sent.
Let's do me a
for
favor.
this particular
Well,
topic,
do
so
me a-
we can't deny it.
All right. Well, do me a favor. Go run and tell the church that Jesus sinned too. Because he told the church what a sin was, so he done it too, right? And what he do, all men can do. So just like he could sin, he could be saved. You could be born again. So fuck what Jesus said. I just asked for you to be born again, nigga.
All right. If you learned anything from this episode or got any value at all, please share this episode with a friend. It helps us grow the channel. It helps us grow the podcast, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much. First ladies on the show on the 1 on 10 series.
Oh, really?
Thank you
Okay.
for coming, being brave.
Awesome.
You wanted to do the first prompt?
I did.
Okay. The prison planet one?
I did.
Are you cool with that?
Oh, yeah. I'll do
Okay.
it all. And then I wanted to talk about Jesus being the serpent in the Garden of Genesis.
Yeah, bring that
3.
up.
Okay.
Go ahead and start it off.
So the first prompt is that Earth is a prison planet. And I
Yeah,
disagree
and you disagree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you disagree with that?
Well, I've never been to prison, but
Yeah. Could you speak louder too?
Yes, absolutely. So I've never been to prison, but as I understand, you must be sentenced for a crime. So I would want to know if this is a prison planet, what is the crime that we're sent here?
Well, like Anka explained it, it's not always that you're having a crime, but you do know that the Bible, because you're a Christian, right?
I am.
The Bible tells you that you're born in sin.
We are.
So to ask me what is the sin, you should already know. But I don't subscribe to that. Just if we're going to stick in the Bible says that you already are a sinner when you're born.
Yes, that's why we need
And the Bible tells you that. So You answer that question. What is your original sin?
Well, the original sin came from Adam when Adam and Eve disobeyed God.
To be honest, I'm glad you brought that up because Adam and Eve never disobeyed God.
I understand that's what you think.
They
But
disobeyed Elohim. That was not God. That was a council of gods or spirits.
and that's fair and that's fine. You can call him whatever you want to call him.
So
but
you agreed that wasn't God?
I don't agree. What I'm saying,
so can you prove that wasn't God? Because I can't.
I can't prove it, and neither can you.
Oh yes, I can actually. In the Hebrew, Elohim is plural for gods. That means there's more than one. That leans toward my position that it is a council, not just one. So I prove it that way, and I can also prove that God isn't supposed to lie, but the Elohim did lie in Genesis 3. Actually, in the Genesis 3, they said, "Don't eat the fruit, and if you eat it, you'll die."
Right.
Adam and Eve didn't die when they ate it. So God can't lie. So
They
that
didn't
couldn't have
die
been God.
immediately, but they did die eventually.
So do you know in the scripture that it actually says, in the day you eat it, in the moment you eat it? Do I need that too?
No, I
No,
think your
it's
voice
good.
is loud enough.
My voice, I'm an orator. So loud, you could use that. But anyway, the Bible says, when you eat it, in the moment you eat it, that's the scripture, you will die. Not later. It doesn't say, Christians have been taught that. So you can understand and cope with the lie that's been told to you, that the serpent is evil. So it says you'll die immediately. And at the end of that chapter, the Elohim turn to each other. You know what they say?
No.
Oh, wow, they ate it. Now they're going to be like us. Wait, I thought you said they were going to die. Now they're going to be like you gods. So really, you just told them you didn't want them to eat it because you didn't want them to be gods.
Well, I believe that God created us in his image, and he said when he created male and female, it was to reflect him. We can debate this all day. I don't think you can prove it, nor can I prove it, because neither of us were there, and that's why it's
Well,
called...
wait a minute.
I
I
wasn't
thought you
finished.
believed in the Bible.
I do. May I finish?
Sure.
Okay, that's why it's called faith. And I had the same questions when I was coming up. If we had all of the answers, we wouldn't need to believe. All of us choose what our faith is. I do believe in the Bible. I do have questions about the Bible. I respect that there were faiths before Jesus came, but for me and for my house and for what works for me, I believe to follow Christ. Yes, there are discrepancies. Yes, there are things that are painful to read, especially in the Old Testament, but it doesn't mean that for me, it's not true.
Okay, well, you went into a lot of your beliefs,
But that's what faith is.
yeah, I don't want to go into faith. I want to talk about the Bible.
I'm
and
not
what
a
the Bible
Bible
says.
scholar.
Okay, then you agree that the Elohim were not God.
I never said that. I
Okay,
said
well-
I believe in the God of the Bible. I understand that you have facts that you really want to prove, but we could do this all day and all night. For me, the life that we are given, the time that we are here on this earth, is to make it better, to use the gifts and talents that we were given. Whatever you believe is to leave this place better than you found it. For me, I promote marriage and family, and I think that's what's a priority. I believe God told us to go forth and multiply and to take dominion of the earth and to use the resources that he's given us to make it better. So you can spend your life debating biblical facts, and that's totally fine. I choose to do otherwise.
Okay, well, I'm here to actually debate and tell the truth. So let me get back to the prison planet thing.
Okay.
You, on one hand, say you don't think it's a prison planet, right? Because you said you need a sentence to get into prison.
As I understand it, when you go to prison, you are convicted of a crime
So
and
sin.
you are sending of your time.
Original
Yes.
sin.
Yes, the original sin. But when God first created the earth and he created Adam and Eve and humans, he said it was beautiful and he was pleased with his creation. After our choice of sin, then we now have the sin and the consequences that come from that. But we were not born with sin.
So you don't agree with the Bible?
I do agree with the Bible. Yes, I have questions about certain things, but I don't believe that I don't believe the earth is a prison. I believe that the life that we have and the earth is what you make of it. You can choose to live a miserable life. You can be in prison in your mind. I choose to look at the blessings that we have, the bountiful goodness that we have, the forgiveness that we have, the grace that we have, the beauty all around us. I really think it's up to you to decide, and that's what I choose.
Do you
That's
think
my faith.
atheists don't look at the beauty and look at
No,
that?
absolutely. As far as I know, and I'm not
So it's not exclusive to Christians?
Absolutely not. And I said that. I know that there are several faiths that came before Jesus was here, and I respect everybody else's faith. As I understand it, and I'm not a religious scholar, but atheists don't believe in the God of the Bible. But you can look at the majesty all around you. You can look at the ocean. You can look at the mountains. You can look at a beautiful flower, colors, and you can appreciate that beauty.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, this isn't really, if you don't debate and you're telling me about all these beautiful things, maybe you're not the person I should be talking to, because I
That's
want to
fine.
speak to someone who actually would be able to dispute the information that I'm presenting. You're not really disputing anything that I'm saying.
I'm not trying to convince you. That's
Okay.
why it's
well,
faith.
That's great.
It's a choice.
I love you for that. I would like to speak to someone who wants to dispute the facts that I'm bringing out. If there's
Do you wanna
anybody
make
else who could
Do you want to
that.
make a final statement?
Yeah, my final statement is that I believe in the God of the Bible. I am a Christian. It is a choice. It is faith. We don't have all the answers, but I believe in promoting marriage and family, and that's why I'm here. And I believe that's what we're supposed to do.
That's awesome. Is there any Christian here that believes that Jesus is not the serpent in the garden of Genesis 3? Well, you're not debating me though. You're being super sweet and like telling me about your feelings about babies and puppies. I want to talk to someone about who will say, yeah, Jesus, because do you know Jesus? I wanted to talk about Jesus being the serpent in the garden.
We can have the conversation,
So
but
did Christ lie at all, ever?
no, the word says that Christ was sinless, and that is why he took on our sins. If you believe, I understand that you don't.
I do believe, actually I do. I
Okay.
believe that Jesus is the serpent in the garden. I believe that Jesus is the historicity of Christ. But I know that there are lies being told to you, so you can believe otherwise. Why would a serpent be evil? How can a serpent even talk?
I believe in the polarity. For good, there's evil. For up, there's down. For bad, there's good. All right. I don't believe that Jesus is the serpent. The serpent is Satan. Maybe it's a representation. Maybe it's not Satan incarnate, but it is a representation of evil to tempt the woman who then disobeyed God. I do believe that that actually happened.
Let me explain. Let
I'm
me
sorry?
explain this to you.
You can't disobey God. You divine energy, divine feminine.
I disagree.
You can't disobey anything. You are beautiful, right?
Well, thank you.
As a whole,
I'm not
right?
perfect.
You existed. Listen, this is how you popped up. It was God, right? And God was a masculine energy. Feminine existed. Energy just existed just because God was there. You was always there. You are the wisdom, right? You are the light of the world. Everything comes from you. But this one thing they did with history, they removed you. Right now, everybody that was taught, everybody watching this right now was taught by a woman, right? But in every book, it's a man that's doing the teaching and the telling. So you're defending man history. She's trying to tell you about yours, right? Because what's inside of you is something way more special than that story, right? They even track origins around. They do it the wrong way because they track it by men, but men have put you in prison. They have gave you their name because to track true origins, they got to track it from a woman. Because if I have sex with a woman, you don't know if that's my baby, but you know that baby came from that woman.
I
right?
disagree with
You know
you.
the baby came from a woman. You have a baby right now.
Yes, I
You
have
know
two
for a fact
sons.
it came from you.
That is true. But
It
what
came
if
from
I
you.
choose to give my name to my husband?
Listen, but we know the baby. I'm telling you about how they track things. We know for a fact it came from you. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
they track back origins right now from the woman DNA, not the man.
I understand that. However, I am pro-masculine and feminine. I don't believe that
course.
women are better.
Of course,
I
because
think
you woman. That's the connection of both, right? That's the connection of the masculine and the feminine.
Right.
That's the true essence of what we are.
yes, but you said that women are divine and we're perfect.
I said what we are.
I disagree.
I didn't just.
Do you disagree that women are divine and perfect?
Yes, ma'am.
Why
I
do you
disagree.
disagree that? But you think that Jesus is divine and perfect as a man.
I believe Jesus is divine and perfect because he was the Son of God, not because he was a man.
Do you know the woman was the first existence, the feminine was the first existence?
I disagree.
Okay, well, you're a woman.
Yes.
You
And
disagree? Did Adam? Did it say in the Bible that Adam didn't have a belly button?
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Did it say it? Did it say it?
It did not say
Okay,
that.
wait, if it didn't say that, then just how you know that Adam came from a woman, because everything came from a woman got a belly button.
I disagree.
And listen, you agree with everything. Everybody right now that came here can show you one of these.
I understand that.
Everybody can show you one of these.
Please don't shout.
Right?
I understand, however.
Right? Listen, everybody got one of those. So listen. So if Adam had one of those,
Yes.
he came from woman. Everything came from you. And
I
you are
disagree.
beautiful.
Well,
Find
thank you.
one thing in his existence right now that we can see that didn't come out of woman. Anything in nature.
Men are here to.
No, name one thing in nature, in history, right now that didn't come out of female. Name one thing here now.
Creation, this table.
No. Name one thing here now that didn't come out of female.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding
All
the
right,
question.
let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Name one baby born.
Oh, well, of course.
Hold up. Name one baby born that didn't come out of a woman.
Of course.
Okay, now name one animal that was born
Of
that didn't come
course.
out of a woman.
The
Hold up. So woman created and brought everything into this existence.
With the man's seed. If I may.
No, women could do it without a man's seed. Listen,
I disagree.
look, Jesus was born without a man's seed. You
The
just say,
Holy
believe it.
Spirit.
Hold up. You just say, hold up. The Holy Spirit was a man. The Holy Spirit was a man because it entered Mary.
Yes.
Right? Hold up. It entered Mary.
Yes.
Right? The entered means something. Right?
Yes.
I don't think you get it. Right? But you got to understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to take something away from you, but I'm telling you that you are everything. Nothing exists without you.
I think that's the problem that we have now is telling women that they're everything. That's why we're.
No, men ain't doing that. Men are telling women that everything based on attachments, based on they need them. I'm telling you so you can be free. I don't want to be attached to you.
I am
Matter of fact,
free.
when you leave her, I'm never gonna think of you again.
I understand that, and I won't remember you. I don't even know who you are.
No, you do know. You're gonna say you don't know who I am right now. I guarantee you, my voice gonna be stuck with you forever, and I
doubt
guarantee
that.
you invented my voice.
I didn't invent anything.
All right, close your eyes right now. Now I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, I love you. Right
No,
now,
you don't. You don't even know
I'm
me.
gonna say I love you. Right.
Okay.
Now hear that same thing I just said in your mind.
Of course, I can repeat
Can you hear
back.
it? Can you hear it
Yes,
in my
sir.
voice?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. So, where did my voice come from? It came from you.
No,
Hold
God,
up.
you ask-
You just said you heard it in your own head, and everything exists in your head. Everything out here come from your head.
No,
so everything
you're
exists
wrong.
in you.
You're wrong.
Name one thing I heard that didn't come from your head.
Okay.
Name one thing I heard that wasn't a thought.
Would you like me
Name
to?
one thing that isn't a thought.
Would you like me to
Name
answer?
one thing that's not a thought, and I'll be done.
Okay, this table.
Is it
this
one a thought?
microphone-
Is it one a thought?
It
No.
started as a thought.
Okay. So the thought is the cause of it all. Listen, and inside, let me tell you something else.
Okay.
Listen, inside a thought,
Yeah.
that's where you find perfection, right? Because right now,
I
if you-
disagree.
let me-
People think imperfect things all the
now,
time.
Think about a circle in your mind. Think of a square in your mind. Think of a triangle in your mind. Think of building a building in your mind. Anything you think in your mind, you can do it perfectly, right?
Well-
Whoa. You can do it perfectly. Perfection exists inside of you, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you is that the moment you put it out here, it becomes a problem. But inside of you, perfection exists, right? And I just want to say that. I just want to say that you're a beautiful woman, and that
Well, thank you for the.
you should understand that.
I think that's interesting that you think I'm too sweet and you don't want to be here.
I'm used to people who are not as nice and sweet as you.
I think
So
that's
you
a problem.
Kinda threw me off. Good.
That is a
that's
good thing.
tactic.
If I may just respond to
Yeah.
what Mr. Unk said, as far as creation, I just want to say, because I believe in the Bible, and again, because it is a choice and because it is faith, God created the first man and the first woman and the first of each species.
I just asked you, if God created the first man, did it have a belly button? If it had a belly button, then God didn't create it. It came out of woman.
Okay, I don't know, and neither do you.
I do know.
You saw Adam's belly.
Listen, because that'd be something that they will have to tell you. That would be something.
No, they don't.
They describe what Jesus looked like. They describe everything else. That'll be something that they have.
But
to
every
describe.
church that you go to has a
All right,
different representation of Jesus.
Well, science has got another thing happen. Did you know what happened to a baby? Right now, you're a woman, but
I am.
Did you know in about 4 weeks that what's inside your belly is actually a fish?
No, you're
No,
wrong.
the eyes is on the side of the head like this.
Well,
Listen to me. The eyes on the side of the head like this. Listen,
I understand what
it's
you're
inside
saying.
water, right?
I understand.
Whoa. It's inside of water, right?
But it's
And
not a fish.
Listen, and everything on earth right now started from a fish, but it was a jawless fish.
I
Listen,
disagree.
it was a jawless fish. Everything started from a jawless fish.
We disagree.
Oh, how can we disagree? Even AI gonna say this shit right because this shit's the fucking truth, right? It's called.
Please
it's
don't swear at me.
science.
No, I understand.
It's science.
I understand in evolution.
But what we're talking about is, okay, Actually, you're a very nice lady.
Thank
okay?
you.
So,
I teach femininity.
you teach femininity?
I do.
Why do you have to teach femininity?
Because women have lost it today.
How did they lose it?
Because they're trying to compete with men as men,
So
and we've
you-
lost our
So
femininity.
you think femininity is just talking like this?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's
I'm
not me at
so-
all.
No. When you say that women have been fierce, you're African.
I
Do you know
am.
they're fierce African warrior women?
Absolutely, but they're
So-
still
so
feminine.
How are they feminine when they were slicing people's heads off, ripping them apart?
You know what?
You're saying you teach femininity.
I
I'm going
do.
to gamble and say that you teach them not to do those things.
Well, people do what they have to do in the time that they live to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our animals. We don't do that
So
anymore.
they don't have to survive today.
I didn't say that. What
Well,
I said that.
You said women lost it today.
I said women lost their femininity. Please don't speak for me.
Well, no, you said women lost their femininity today, and I said you're from Africa.
I
women
am.
were warriors.
Women
you said
were-
they had to do it back then.
Not
but
only-
today you said they don't have to do it now. They don't have to survive. Women.
What I said is we all did what we had to survive in the time
And they
that
don't
we
do
were
that
living.
today?
If I may
Women don't-
finish.
No, you can finish. I'm asking you, do they do it today?
Yes,
So you teach femininity.
I
do you
do.
teach women that they should be sweet and kind or be warriors?
I teach women that they shouldn't be men.
Wait a minute. Do you teach them to be sweet and kind or do you teach them to be warriors?
If you want to
if
be,
a woman fights a man,
I wasn't
no,
finished.
I'm going to ask you. I got to
Okay.
get because
You've asked me
I can't
multi-
let this niceness throw me off.
Yeah,
When a
I'm
woman is-
struggling
when a
that
woman
you're
is
bothered by
fighting,
it.
because you said you teach femininity.
I
when
do.
a woman is fighting,
Women
do you
shouldn't
say
fight.
that's manly or
It
do you
is.
say it's feminine?
It's
So,
very
If
masculine.
it's manly,
It
they
is.
are warriors
Yes.
today, and they don't have to survive today. But in the past, when they were warriors, it's okay.
Okay, if I may answer you.
Sure.
Again, we all do what we have to do to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our own animals. I don't know if you're a mother. I'll speak for myself.
I'm
I have
talking
two
about
boys.
warriors, not farmers, not husbandry.
If
I'm talking
I
about
may-
warriors.
If I may answer.
Sure, answer, please. I'm waiting.
I consider myself a very kind and nonviolent person. However, cross me about my boys, it'll be a very different story.
What
So
will you
if you're
do?
in
What will you do? Will you
whatever
still be
I have
feminine?
to, not in that
So
moment.
it's masculine to fight.
Absolutely.
Oh, so women can't fight. or
I
they're
never
manly.
said that. I never said that.
You did.
There
you said
were
it's
women.
masculine to fight.
It is masculine to
so
fight.
women can't fight or they're manly.
You can be a woman and have masculine moments. I'll give you an example. I'm a boy mom. There are times when I have to say, "Hey, get over
so
here."
you're manly.
In that moment, yes. But
so
when
why
I'm
are
with,
you teaching femininity if you're manly?
because my man
so
will
you
not.
can be manly when you need to, but
And
the
so
women who
can
are
you.
manly, they
And
can't.
no, absolutely. What I'm saying is the women who come to me want to be in a relationship with a masculine man. A masculine man requires a feminine woman, full stop. All right? So if you want to be with a masculine man, oftentimes women today do not realize how masculine they have become. I'll give you another real world example. I'm a former executive. When you have to lead people and manage budgets and do all these things with millions, you take on that masculine energy and you don't know sometimes how to turn it off and be nice and sweet when you're in a nurturing mode, when you're with your husband.
Who's the
when-
governor of that? Who decides? You? Because you're a femininity coach. So you decide that when women are ready to be manly, they can be manly. You're calling it man. You call it manly to be assertive. You call it manly.
It
to,
is.
See. So you can decide because you're
For
the man,
me.
but you're. There are so many women. There's
And not
billions
every
of people.
and not
You-
everybody is my
so
student.
how do you get to be an authority on who's feminine and who's not?
I'm not the authority
you
for
just said you're a
everyone.
femininity coach.
I am. When women come
So
to
you're not
me
an authority. So I
because
shouldn't
they
listen to you.
no, you shouldn't.
Okay,
Because they
no one
want
should-
what I
no one should
have.
listen to you.
No.
Thank you. She said it. No.
No.
One should. So
I
you're
said
not, so you don't know
you-
anything about femininity because femininity isn't being nice and sweet. And guess what? Femininity is about fighting because
I disagree.
Because guess what? Females, lions, fight to the death while the male sits back. Women and mothers, like you said, fight for their children. You said it's manly to fight.
It
so You are
is.
not. Which one is it? Which one is
Nobody
it?
is feminine 100% of the time, and if a man
Exactly.
if a man loses a family member and he is heartbroken and crying, that is not a masculine moment. That is
I
a
think we need to redefine all of. We need to redefine that crying is not being masculine. We need to redefine that being fighting isn't not being feminine. That's the problem. It's
you can
it's a social thing.
you can define it however you want to. All I'm saying is there is a natural biology.
So is it
Wow, you
wrong?
really-
No, is
interrupting
it wrong
is-
for your is it wrong for your sons to cry if
Absolutely
their
not.
turtle dies?
Absolutely
And if
not.
is it wrong if your son gets hit by another person, he cries, and they say you're a sissy?
That's
By
absolutely
your
wrong.
standards, he's being feminine crying.
If
right?
he's a boy, that's expected. If he's a man, absolutely
So
not.
if
He'll
a
defend.
man gets punched in the face and
He's gonna punch you back.
So wait, men can't cry?
I never said that.
Yes, you
Are you
just did.
listening?
You
No.
just said it.
I said we are not masculine 100% of the time,
Yeah.
and we are not feminine
And
100% of the
who's gonna
time.
govern that?
Whatever outcome the woman wants, the women that come to me, because you said I shouldn't be the authority. I am not the authority. I am just a mom on the internet.
Right.
But women come to me because they want what I have. They see something in me that they do not see in somebody like you.
Oh,
And they
really?
say, you know what, Maggie, I would love to have a relationship like yours. I would love to be able to communicate like you. I would like to be able to keep my composure like you. I would love to be able to have respective men that do not know me. How can I do that? I see.
Give them everything you got, then, because the only way you can do it. Because no matter what you do, hold up, you just said they come to you and they say they love everything that you got. So if you want to help them, give them everything that you got.
I do.
Hold up, no, give them everything. You should have nothing left for yourself.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, if you gave them everything, if they like everything that you like, if I like your shirt and you
Yes.
give me your shirt, you
Yeah.
have no other shirt.
Right.
Right? If you gave me your shirt right now, you'd be shirtless.
That is true.
So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that you are fighting for things. And listen, I sit up and talk. You're beautiful. I love you. I love everything you said. I'm gonna say this. I cry all the time. I cry before I started
You're not.
this.
You're masculine.
Right,
Feminine.
but I'm masculine and femininity. They exist together.
Yes, it's
They-
called
it's
polarity. We
both,
do agree.
Right? It's
Yes.
it's both.
Yeah, that's
But I don't want a woman. Like a lot of men want a submissive woman. I don't want a submissive woman. I don't
'Cause
like-
you're not
I
a
don't- I don't
masculine
want nobody-
man.
Oh, listen. Let me tell you this. 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 I'm something that you probably don't understand, right? A masculine
You're
man is
right.
going to tell you what to do. They're going to attach you. They're going to try to hold you down. Listen to me. Hold up. Listen to me. I exist in both. I'm both masculine and feminine, right? Because I understand the duality of both. I understand that my mind have a left and a right side. I activate them both, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm not here to tell you what you should do, right? I'm not going to define what's masculinity to you and what is not. But I don't want a submissive woman, because once you tell a woman to submit to you, that's me telling the woman that I'm above her. I'm not above no woman. Hold up. If that's the case, when a child come out, then the mother should automatically submit to the child if the child is a male. Hold up, because you're suggesting that I am above you, right? That
My
you
man
should,
is.
hold up. Listen, I'm gonna say this. You're in prison, and listen, and I'm gonna say this. And
I'm
your
happy.
Man, listen to me. You're in prison.
I'm
your man
not.
is fine what you do, and that's a life that you shouldn't want to live.
You're
right?
wrong.
Because you have been programmed to believe that submitting is something that you want to do, but in
I
reality, in your
disagree with
mind, listen, let me tell you
you.
something. Right now, let me tell you right now, I know what you're doing right now. You're wearing what they call a mask. Right now, you're doing this. I disagree
Then
with
who's-
you.
then
Hold
who's
on,
the real me?
Oh, I could just ask your husband. He'll tell you when you're mad. Yeah. That's what you do, and that's who the fuck you is. And you want to sit here and act like that's not who the fuck you.
Excuse me.
Shut the fuck up talking when I'm talking. Don't you fucking talk again. Why the fuck are you talking?
No.
Why are you talking?
Because
Shut
I
the
can.
fuck up.
Are you going to be disrespectful? I was respectful to you.
There you go. It's not about respect. It's the fact that you
But
was
did
holding.
I
You're
answer
still
you?
holding in. No, you're still holding in. I disrespected
Because
you.
it's called
You should stand up
composure.
for yourself. No.
No.
You should stand up for yourself. No.
No.
You're bottling it in. When you leave, you know what you're gonna say? That motherfucker in there yelling at me. He's doing all this shit.
I
You're
don't
gonna
have to
release.
say. I don't have to say it because you made
You made a great point.
You made
You're not being
an-
yourself.
You don't
I'm
know
sorry
me.
No,
You don't know me at
I know you're a
all.
human being, and I know that the way you're reacting to someone doing that is not natural.
It's called composure.
No, it's called you're being. You're, ma'am.
Who
and-
is
and-
shaking? Oh, she's shaking?
You.
I'm sorry that.
Like this. You're angry a minute.
I am not angry because I don't respect
There's
you.
nothing wrong with being angry.
I don't respect
I know.
you.
Go where you respect it. You can't get respect. Listen.
You can shout
Listen,
at me,
listen,
but I don't
never
even
shouted.
know you.
Listen,
You
listen,
shouted at me
listen,
and you slammed the
listen,
table.
You listen. You disrespected me since you've been here. You said I was
How did I
masculine. You said I
oh,
was
yeah, I said
masculine.
you're not
You
a
said you don't
masculine
respect
man.
me. Listen,
Yeah,
hold on.
that's true.
Everything that you said was disrespect. But you,
Yeah.
listen, everything I said to you was polite, was giving you,
You
nothing
did.
but love, right? But the moment I said something you didn't like, you're going to say that disrespect. But you never acknowledged when I said something good to you.
But you said you
never
love-
acknowledged it.
No.
Hold up. Stop. Let
I
me
said
speak.
thank-
Hold up. You never acknowledged when I said something good to you. But the moment I say something you don't like, you acknowledge that. But that's how people is in the
I
world.
did
They
thank you.
acknowledge what's bad. They never acknowledge what they can figure is good.
Okay, may I
Right?
speak?
Why should I allow you to speak when you won't even accept my kindness?
I did. When you gave me the compliment, I said thank you, but you told me you loved me, and I said you don't even know
Define
me.
love. Find love. Love is both. Listen, I'm saying this. You don't think you know love. I don't know. I know you don't know love because love is both.
I am so
listen,
loved.
If you were so loved, then everybody you love, you never was mad at.
That's not true.
So love exists.
Mad is an emotion.
So love exists, and all the emotions exist inside love.
I
So you
would
can't
disagree
determine
with
whether I
you.
love you or not.
I would
You
disagree.
can't determine that.
If I may speak, I think when you love somebody, you're actually madder at them than someone you don't love. Take your children, right? If your children disobey you, if you see a kid acting out in the store, falling out, you're like, well, there they go. But if you see your kid misbehaving, you're even angrier because you want a better outcome for them.
Your
Because
decide. If I see my kid fall, I'm not gonna think that you're trying to make
Okay,
me
that's
and your
fair.
reality. This is what I'm saying. Love is unconditional. No matter what you do to me.
I disagree.
No matter what you do to me, no matter what I do to you, love will still be there, right?
Yeah.
That's true love.
Yeah.
That's true love,
Yeah.
right? Fake love become determined by you do this, I give you love. You do this, I give you this, right? That's fake. Real love exists inside of everything if it's real love.
I agree, but I do think it has to be earned, and I think it has to be
I
maintained.
ain't earning no love from nobody.
That's fine.
Because like, if you got to earn it, you're going to have to continue earning it.
Does a newborn have to earn love when it comes out of your womb?
For children, it's different.
So,
However,
see, you have standard. You see how you have different. Oops.
no, but well,
You
thank
have
you. I
different-
appreciate the compliment. I was just gonna say this.
Why
I
is it
focus on
different?
okay.
Why is
I
it
focus
different?
on relationships, children aside, right? Because they come how they come, right? That's just again my faith, the purity of a baby being born. Let's talk about relationships because that's something that I'm passionate about. I can love my man, but if he doesn't continue to do the things that make me love him, that love is going to fade. We have to, that's why it's called keeping the home fires burning. I think as women, that is our responsibility. That's part of our nurturing. A relationship is not just going to be beautiful and bright just because I told you one time that I love you. If I'm not doing those loving things, you're going to feel slighted from me. And over time, that love will fade. How many times have we heard people say we fell out of love or it's just not there anymore because we didn't put the work in to maintain it?
They never loved you in the first place because you said, listen.
I
love,
disagree.
Listen, they never, listen, if you let me say this.
Okay.
Right? If you love somebody,
Yes.
love never leaves.
That's true.
The moment it leaves, it never was love. So I'm gonna say this, right?
Okay.
People confuse love with attachments, meaning that if you sit here, if you do everything I tell you to do, then I can give you my love. But the moment you leave, that love disappears. The moment you disobey me, that love disappears. So that, I believe, is not love. The true love that you said
Yes.
that we both agree on,
Yes.
all of us, that when the baby came in,
Yes.
they got that love.
That's
so
true.
I say that when you love somebody, it should be that love.
Well,
and if it's
even-
not that love, then it's not love at all.
That's fair. I agree with you. And even the Bible that neither of you agree with has different.
I never said I agree with the Bible.
Okay, my mistake then.
I agree.
I believe it's Greek, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I believe it's Greek that has different words for different types of love, right?
agape love.
Right.
Okay,
So,
there's agape love,
right,
and then we have philo love,
right,
and
brotherly.
So this is the thing I'm trying to understand with you.
Okay.
Are you do femininity coaching?
Yes.
You say, well, if my husband keeps on doing everything fine, that's great. But if he stops loving me, do you stop submitting? Or what do? You just go and start
I think submission.
internalizing everything?
I think submission is a choice. What I'm saying is that when you love someone, when you're in a relationship, you have to nurture that. Take any relationship. We'll put love relationships to the side. You can't be a good employee and not show up. You can't be a good mother, sister, friend. You have to continue to do the things that bring that relationship closer. So yes, if your husband stops doing the things, if your wife stops sleeping with
I
you,
want to go back to the mother thing.
With the woman I'm with, I ain't slept with her. She's watching this. I haven't slept with her about 13 months to this day. She's still there, will not leave. This is true.
I believe you.
Oh, I know that's true.
This is true. This is true.
I believe you.
I'm saying this was a choice that I made.
I understand.
Right? The choice that I made don't say I don't love someone because I don't want to stick my dick in them.
Can you speak to me without swearing?
Listen, it's the thing, right? I could speak to you without swearing if you could speak to me as you.
I don't know what you mean by that.
You, before you decide to become a femininity coach and decided that you knew everything
Oh,
about
when
femininity.
I never said I know
Speak to-
everything.
well, speak to
I
me
took
like
my
that.
own
Well,
courses.
speak to me like you was before you started speaking like that. And
Well,
I
that
speak
cost
no
me
profanity.
my marriage. Here's the
That
thing.
ain't cost your marriage. Your husband left you because he didn't see who you was. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. If you lost, you never lost shit. Right? Because you are whole. I'm sorry. I don't want to cuss because you say don't cuss in front of you. I'm going to say this. You are beautiful. You never lost nothing. Nothing never cost you nothing.
But how do you know
Anything
if you weren't
because
there?
you are beautiful. Listen, because everything, listen, I'm going to say this. Anything that comes from you is beautiful. Yes, you probably made mistakes. Everything make mistakes. But if somebody
No,
loves you,
I'm
they're
a
going to love
sinner.
you through
I'm
it.
a hopeless sinner.
No, you're not. You're
Okay.
not. Sinner is a sine wave. You was born in a wave of energy, right? The words have been changed and things are different.
I have made mistakes.
Oh,
I
man,
have
you submitting to a God, you submitting to a man, you living your life submitting.
and I am so happy
Stand up.
because men are leaders.
Circle and
Yes.
say this.
Yes.
When you sat down, you said, "Why are we in a prison if we didn't do any crime?" But
Right.
you admit to being a sinner.
Right.
And sin is a crime. So that's why you're in a prison planet.
Well-
if you want to go by that.
Okay.
Being in a prison planet isn't just about sin, though. There's nothing inside of. He said there's nothing inside of that body.
Oh, my doctor would beg to disagree, but okay.
No, but I mean, there's. If you're not a Bible scholar, I'm usually, wanting to talk to people who know a little bit more about the language and the actual Bible.
But how is that helping you? Debating.
Oh, it helps a lot because I uncover the esoteric of the Bible. People have been taught that Jesus is a serpent, that the serpent's evil. When you tell people no, the serpent isn't evil, you start.
I
breaking-
never said
you start
that- oh, I'm
breaking-
so- you're talking about
start
yourself.
breaking programs.
Okay.
The programs that tell you that you have to keep sitting here and talking like this when
Would you
people
believe-
scream at you, because the Bible tells you you're supposed to submit. You're weaker. You're lower. You do what men say. So if you knew that there were certain things in the Bible that programmed your mind to not be naturally yourself,
I
it
would
would help you. So me showing people that Jesus is the serpent in the garden of Genesis 3 helps people say, oh, I'm breaking just like in the Matrix. Once you saw that one thing, Neo started breaking the program. So
I
that's the
disagree
point.
with you. What would actually
Well,
be
you keep
helpful?
saying you disagree with me.
Well, what would be
Give
helpful?
give me a reason why you disagree. Wait, why
I
do
love
you
watching
disagree?
this.
Why do you disagree?
What would be helpful is if you didn't mock me. All
How
right.
am I mocking you?
When
You're
you
very
try-
passive aggressive.
No, I'm being
you are.
honest with you. Okay,
you are.
you can believe whatever you want to.
I don't know how I ever mocked you.
I-
But go ahead.
when you-
I'm trying to be super nice with you
When-
because you seem very sweet.
I
but
am. Here's
don't
the
know how to
thing.
mock you.
I think you're projecting because
Now I'm projecting.
yeah, if I may finish.
Sure.
When this man yelled at me and I did not react in kind, you could not believe that because you could not see yourself being shouted at and maintaining your composure.
Right.
So when you look at me
So
doing that,
Now you're projecting.
okay, you are telling me that I'm not my true self because I'm feminine and because I'm sweet. Would you believe that I'm happier this way?
No.
When I was
I
a
don't
boss
think you're being
babe,
feminine. I don't. I know femininity. You're not being feminine.
I would ask
you're
the
being
masculine.
You're being a robot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you're pretending. You're a pretender.
Okay.
Because you've been taught femininity is talking like this
You're
and
wrong.
wearing pearls.
You're
and
wrong.
saying, I am not going to do that.
You're wrong.
That's not feminine. Feminine is
Femininity
you've had-
is
so let me
supporting-
speak. Let me get this out.
Okay.
You've had a child.
Yes.
2 children.
Yes.
That's one of the most painful experiences in life.
And beautiful.
We just came here. We're together.
Okay.
It's beautiful, but guess what? It's fierce. It's violence. It's
Yes,
pain.
yes.
There's blood.
And it's in the
But you
Bible.
would say that's not feminine.
I never said
Oh,
that.
I'm just gonna lay here and have this.
Didn't I
baby.
just say
Oh,
that-
I'm having a contraction. I'm fine, doctor.
I don't remember you
That's
being
what you're
there.
being. You're not feminine. But you said you're making. We need to focus on what is feminine. Feminine is the beginning. It's the fierceness. It's the darkness. Hold on.
I think you're
Can I
talking
get
about
this
being a
out?
feminist.
It's
Okay.
the darkness.
Only if
Can
I may respond.
You will.
Okay.
It's the darkness in the water. Life, it's not just the womb. We can look at the microcosm of the womb, the waters in the womb. I know you're confused. That's why you're looking around. Listen to me, though. I'm here with you. I love you, or do, because I want you to know the womb is the darkness in the water. Life began in the darkness of the water. Your Bible says life began in darkness. That's the water. That's not sitting here and going. It's scary.
Please don't mock
Wait,
me.
No, I have to. It's scary.
No, you don't. You
It's
can make your
unknown.
point without
It's a
disrespecting.
scary, volatile, chaotic.
Why are you
place.
so scared?
No. I'm trying to tell you what's feminine. Oh, feminine is that.
Okay.
That is the core of femininity.
I disagree.
Femininity isn't I'm just going to mute out. No, femininity is roaring. That roaring that he did.
I disagree.
That's his feminine side. That he
No,
brought
that's
out.
an emotional man
No,
having
but
an
you're not
outburst.
hearing me, my friend. My friend. The part that you're hearing when a woman is giving birth, she's yelling. She's
Absolutely.
screaming.
I was there.
So you equate that with masculine.
No, that's not what I said at
So
all.
Yelling is masculine.
Okay, I'll wait when you're
I'm-
finished.
Yes, I need you to. I need you not to just listen to.
That real voice just came. That real voice, though. I heard it. That real voice just came. When you said, hold up, your real voice came. Please do it again. Your real voice just came out, and we all heard it.
I'm waiting to
No,
respond.
I've been waiting for that voice for a long time, and I finally heard you. I love you, and y'all never cuss again. 'Cause,
Thank
listen,
you.
I heard you. I've been here trying to figure out who you was, and I heard that voice.
Okay.
Only for a quick. There I go again.
Okay, but here's the thing. I said in the very beginning, there are times
Give
when
me that voice again, please. It's so
I don't.
beautiful.
I'm sorry, I missed it. But what I'm saying,
Because you've been listen, you missed it because you have bottled you up.
No.
Right? Listen, you bottled you up. That voice that just came outside of you. That's you. Could you
how about
please
this?
let me hear it?
Have you ever
please?
gotten feedback that someone didn't like something and you wanted to be better for that someone, and so you improved
You
yourself?
can't prove your. That's what I'm saying. Let me say something. You
Okay.
can't approve yourself. When you came in this world, you was perfect.
I
right?
disagree.
Listen, because you came in this world, you're gonna die the same way you came. Listen, nameless. No one's gonna remember you.
I
It's not-
disagree.
listen,
I have a legacy. What's yours?
I'm gonna tell you this. All right, you don't have a legacy.
You don't know that.
I'm gonna tell you how I know. Let me tell you.
I never said that. I said, what is
Let me tell you
yours?
how I can tell you, right?
Okay.
Because right now in this history, everybody watching this, they're gonna say who their grandma is. They're gonna say their great grandma is. They can't say who their great grandma is. They forget. People can't even tell you. We argue a lot about Jesus. There's only a few people that we remember. No one's gonna remember you. The only
The
thing that
internet
matters
is forever.
now.
I disagree.
Listen, no one's gonna remember you. The only thing that matters is now.
Maybe you don't want anybody to
No,
remember
I
you.
do. I want everybody to remember you. Listen, I want everybody to remember you. You're attached to something. You're attached to doing something that's not going to work. When you get to the,
I think it is working.
how is it going to work when no one's going to remember you?
No,
the
I
man
disagree
that you
with
with,
you.
if you die right now, he's going to go get some more pussy.
I thought you said you weren't going to swear
I say
at
if
me.
you die, if you die, pussy is not a square word.
Yeah, but do you have any
Pussy
other?
not a square word.
Do you a square
Vagina.
word? Do you have any other use of the
Coochie.
English language?
Sex.
Yes.
Right.
Of
Listen,
course,
so
he's
if you-
a
listen,
masculine
listen.
man.
No,
and
no,
he's gonna get
a
oral
masculine.
sex.
No, a masculine man don't run around just getting sex. That's a
But you
freak
said if
man.
I die.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter because I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this to you. And I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just gonna say this.
I'm not
I'm
arguing.
gonna say this. Whatever happened in your first relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? To where he told you, right, you talk too much, or you talk too much, or you talk back, and he made you think that you wasn't acting the way a woman should act.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that wasn't a man. Because listen, a man can accept a person's opinion, a person's
That's
mind. A man can sit down and have a
You're
conversation with a
absolutely
woman.
right. We've been doing that here, and I believe that I've been very effective communicating without shouting, without swearing. I did want to take a moment because you told me I wasn't feminine, and there's a lot of men in the room.
You are feminine. You
Could
just
I
too
please-
you
When
too feminine.
Now it makes sense. I didn't know you were this femininity.
You
So
too feminine.
for me to
You too
have a
feminine.
Because you're not masculine.
No, you too feminine because listen, because half the men, the men out here right now. Not
I was gonna
masculine.
ask. Okay,
The
I don't know the men
out
in the
here not
room.
fa- No. I'm saying the men that you're looking at in the world, the men in the world, they're
let's
not
wrap this
masculine. Because
Okay.
listen, they run around and they doing things. Everybody is both mixed. What I'm saying is that you are beautiful.
Yes, we agree with that. Thank you for the
Final point,
compliment.
final
Everything.
point.
Final point. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you both,
Yeah,
and
you're
I
nice.
appreciate having the debate.
But Jesus is the serpent in the Garden of Genesis 3.
You can believe whatever you
It's
want
not a
to.
belief. It's
Well,
actually a
he
fact.
asked me to make my final
I'm
point.
sorry, sweetheart. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you.
I just
So,
wanted to stay in character for you. You know, the feminist, masculine lady.
You're
Go
doing
ahead.
a perfect job.
I know.
Okay.
I knew you thought that.
Yes,
So, thank you.
absolutely. Okay, so my final thought is faith is something that we choose. We don't have all of the answers. Even the Bible says, I set before you life and death, choose. Whatever you want to choose, that's fine. I'm not here to convince you. I believe in a masculine man, a feminine woman, marriage, children, and family. I think that's the only thing that's going to keep this planet going. If you choose to believe it's a prison planet, that's fine. I see the beauty in every day, and I'm grateful for an opportunity to live and enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for watching to the end, guys. Please comment below your thoughts on the episode. If you agree, if you disagree, I'd love to hear it. I read every single comment. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
So, Jesus is a serpent in the Garden of Genesis 3.
Okay, and where are you basing that off of?
The Elohim said that they should not eat the fruit
Yes.
or they will die.
Yes.
That was a lie. God can't lie. The serpent is the only one who led them to the truth. If you look at Christ, he leads us to the truth.
Is Adam and Eve still alive now?
Yeah, you're part of Adam and Eve.
No, but they died,
survived.
right? Adam and Eve did die. They were going to
they-
have eternal life on earth until they ate that apple.
In the text, though, we're talking about the Bible
In the
now,
text, yeah.
not our feelings. 'cause
They said you will
we got
surely
all that
die.
out. We did feelings. Now we're going to do
Correct.
the Bible and we're going to do text, right?
Yeah, go
Thank
ahead.
you. That,
I'm listening to your
okay.
reference.
In the Bible, the text, the Hebrew text says, when you eat it, you will die.
You will surely die.
You will surely die. Not, hey, in about 900 years, you guys are going to be toast. They're dying right. They say you're going to die right after you eat it.
That is the interpretation that you're going with in saying that they're going to die immediately. It did not say immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to live, and there was not going to be anything that was going to cause death to them. It's something that broke down their genetic build that they were already blessed with.
Right.
So
Okay.
when you're saying that, it's not a lie, and the serpent wasn't the one that told them that. The serpent told them God doesn't want you to eat it because you're going to unlock extra knowledge. They did unlock that extra knowledge.
Wait. The serpent said God doesn't want you to eat it because when you eat it, you will also be gods. It doesn't say unlock certain knowledge. It says you will also.
It says the knowledge
because
of good and evil.
And you will. They don't. But it says they don't want you to eat it because you will also be gods. That's what the text says.
No, the text says that you will know and understand the knowledge of good and evil. It didn't say that you will be
No.
gods.
Listen, you got to hear what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm listening.
It says you will unlock the knowledge of good and evil and become gods. You left that part out.
Understood. So here,
So yeah, they didn't want them to become gods. That's the reason.
are you familiar with that first sin being sex?
No, what?
When
you mean
Adam
in
and
the-
Eve,
In the text.
when that apple wasn't literal, it was the forbidden fruit.
Okay, now we're
the
gonna
forbidden
go into
fruit.
some
The
Gnosticism.
forbidden fruit was sex. That
Wait, that's Gnosticism. So wait,
No,
hold
that's
on.
not Gnosticism.
Let me tell
Go
you
ahead.
why you're wrong according to the Bible.
I'm listening.
Because it says, please have sex and proliferate. Please have sex and multiply. So you're wrong about that.
they
God-
weren't
if-
multiplying
if
then
sex
yet.
was a sin,
They weren't multiplying
hold
by
on.
sex. They were still multiplying. But look at how Eve
Wait a
was born.
minute.
She was born from the rib. They didn't have to be born through sex, and they didn't have to be born through that painful experience. That's what their punishment was when they were cast out the Garden of Eden.
Okay, in Genesis chapter 1, before the rib deal,
Yeah.
and the lady who's here, she would love that because women, everybody knows women come out of men's ribs, right? But I digress.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The chapter 1 says, hey, you guys, I made you male and female. Now get this place full of people. That would mean that they're reproducing, not because of a rib coming out of some guy's side, and then there's a lady.
So
It
who
said-
were the children documented before they left the Garden of Eden?
Who are the children? What do you mean?
What children did they have? If they were reproducing, who did they give birth to
In
before
Genesis chapter 1,
before they were cast out of the Garden of Eden?
in Genesis chapter 1, it says multiply.
Right.
It's a commandment by the Elohim, the creators. What do you mean who's the children?
So they didn't
It's under-
multiply yet.
What? Yes, they
So,
did.
so who were their
you
children?
do
then?
know there were more than one. If
I
you're-
know there's more than I know. If
Yeah,
you're saying Cain and
okay, so
Abel,
you
I
agree.
understand that.
You
but
agree.
Cain and Abel came after their knowledge
they
of good
went
and
to
evil.
the land of
Tho-
Nod, and there were people there.
Yes,
So
those were the
so
people
you
of
agree
clay.
with me that there was more than two people.
But those were the people of clay. Those weren't the people that had the breath of God inside
The
of them.
people of Cain, you mean?
The people of clay.
You're talking about mud.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting really far off here.
No, because that's what was
Jesus-
just. Go ahead.
The people of clay, which is Christ, right? Christ is a man, flesh and blood, correct?
Yes, he's flesh and blood.
So Christ is evil.
No, not evil at all. You're
Christ
implying
doesn't
that
have
he.
a soul.
I didn't say that he
You
doesn't have
just
a
said the
soul.
people of. Am I hearing that? Didn't you say they don't have souls if they're clay?
I didn't say that they didn't have souls
What
if
did
they
you
were clay.
say?
I said the people of clay. They were different. They didn't have the breath of God. Is
They
what
didn't
I
have
said.
souls.
I said they didn't have the breath of God inside
Okay,
of
does
them.
Christ have the breath of God?
Absolutely.
Was he clay?
No.
Oh, so Christ wasn't made out of flesh and blood material?
He is made of flesh and blood, but the difference that you're missing is the sentience, that consciousness.
Hold on.
While we're
You're
talking
jumping
about,
wait,
I'm
I
not
wanna
jumping
hold you
off.
on that point.
I'm telling you,
said
explaining the
people
breath of
clay.
God.
You said the people of clay.
Yes, they did not have
Clay,
that sentience.
clay just means flesh and blood material. Matter is.
Of course.
When we're talking about clay, we're talking about material. So
Right.
if we can
so
get
this
back
is
to.
so I can tell you those people of clay, if you're looking for a reference on that, those are the Neanderthals. These are the people that didn't have.
You were everywhere.
I'm telling
Now
you,
they're
these are the
Neanderthals.
people that didn't have that consciousness. They didn't have that sentience that you and I have. The way that we're aware of life and death. When we're talking about that breath of life, that's what Adam had inside of him. That sentience, that connection to God that you still share. This is the evidence of God's existence throughout all of us. It's been since then. And Eve had that same existence, and they were going to procreate and have more children without it being a painful birth. When she decided to be deceptive and participate in the forbidden fruit and consuming the forbidden
fruit wasn't forbidden.
It was.
I mean,
it was told to them
it was
they weren't
forbidden.
supposed to.
The
Go
fruit
ahead.
wasn't evil. You need to listen to
I didn't
what
say
the text,
evil. I said forbidden.
It was forbidden because the Elohims at the end of chapter 2, at the end of chapter 3, the Elohim, which wasn't God, it was a council of God, say, now they're going to be gods like us. That's why they didn't want them to eat the fruit, not because it was evil.
And so
or
what
wrong.
knowledge did they obtain that made them gods like them?
They understood they understood everything. They understood all the, what you say, forbidden knowledge.
But what is the forbidden knowledge?
All the deep knowledge that you see in Enoch that's forbidden with all the so-called fallen angels.
But
how to make weapons,
how would they know
how
that
to
if
do
that
makeup.
happened after Adam and Eve?
What do you mean, how do they know?
Because you're saying that's the forbidden knowledge, like in the book of Enoch. How would they know that knowledge if it followed after their participation of the forbidden fruit?
That moment in Enoch is supposed to
surpass them.
It's supposed to be at the same time of creation.
So how would eating that fruit give them that knowledge based on what you're implying if it's supposed to be
Enoch
evil?
says the angels taught them how to make swords, how to do makeup, how to do this, how to do that. That's all the knowledge that they weren't supposed to have. But the God said, don't eat it because, you'll die.
I'm telling you what the forbidden knowledge is. The forbidden knowledge was sex. And that's the act that they did.
So why is sex
that's
forbidden? Why is sex forbidden?
Because the format of how they had sex. They were supposed to reproduce and they were supposed to have other children, not in that format. The format that you're mocking about the rib, this was how they gave birth before. That was an act of God.
So men give birth by having a rib taken out and are you
in that time frame?
We're not doing science anymore, right?
Go ahead. No, we could go science.
So
go ahead. I'm
where
listening.
in science did a male ever have a rib removed and then become a human being?
That is not accepted anymore because we're no longer in the Garden of Eden. If we were in the Garden of Eden, we would still be doing it.
So sex
is
evil.
Yes, in the practice of how it was done, that's why the serpent introduced sex to Eve, and they brought in Adam to introduce it to him, and they were cast out the Garden of Eden.
So sex is evil. So all the prophets throughout the Bible, Moses was born through sex, Elijah, they're just evil because their mom and dad decide to reproduce.
That's why it's important that we had the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, so that way it's not evil anymore.
Is it evil for?
It's animalistic.
Why do animals have babies and have pain like horses and
of course
and dogs? Did they get cursed with the sin of Eve too?
We weren't going to be submitted to the same pains of animals. We were above animals. Now we're at the same level of animals, and
have to get it too.
No, I'm saying they were already getting that. We are now going through the same pain of animals now. Well, where else would they get that from? If they were already, go ahead.
It's not true.
But look at how you'd rather relate with animals instead of being above animals and be the gods.
Say something ridiculous that people having sex to actually live and survive when God says be fruitful.
That's why we're having sex now, because we're out the Garden of Eden.
Before Genesis 3, God said, be fruitful and multiply, guys. And he didn't say, guys, get your ribs out. And we need to fill this place up with people. He said, I made you male and female. Be fruitful and multiply. We know that it's reproduction.
But you understand that the design of that garden goes beyond comprehension. That's why it's told the way that it is told. I'm listening.
This is like eisegesis, but I'm okay with it. I'm rolling with it.
I'm listening.
So we're all freestyling and flying by the seat of our pants at this moment, because you're like saying things that never were said in the Bible. There's nothing at all saying that it was sex. There's nothing at all in there.
But I'm saying,
But
so
that's
what
the
is the
Christian
forbidden
church-
knowledge? No.
That's what the Christian
So I'm
church has
asking you,
taught
what is the forbidden knowledge? I'm telling you what the forbidden knowledge was that was gained from there, and that's why her childbirth was painful. That's why the children that they had from sex, one of them murdered the other ones, because they're born from the knowledge of forbidden fruit, from that forbidden fruit. They're born of the knowledge of good and evil. That's why Cain was good. That's why Abel was evil. Abel was good. Cain was evil, and Cain killed his brother. They were fruits from that
So
labor.
Cain was good. No, I'm seeing, you said Abel was good, right?
Abel was good.
Wasn't Abel born by sex?
Yes, he was. But
I
that's
thought
the
you
knowledge
said-
of good and evil. The evil was still inside of his brother.
okay.
They're good and evil.
Let me
right
tell
there.
you why I say Jesus is because this is
I'm listening.
Jesus is a serpent in the garden according to the text, because the Elohim did lie in the text. Because you have fact checkers here, if you look at Genesis 3, they say at the end, they are going to be gods like us. They are going to be gods like us. Before that, they said, hey, you guys are going to die. Which one is it? The lie was that they didn't want them to be gods. I can prove it in the Bible. They are going to be gods like us. Then they said, we better hurry up and get them out of here. I'm paraphrasing. We better get them out of here.
We're by the seat of our, the
no,
whims of our
because
seat.
you're and I love
I'm sorry,
talking-
I'm listening.
No,
Go ahead.
I just want to get to the core of it,
Yeah.
that it's solid.
Yeah.
They said, now we got to get out of here, because now that they have knowledge of good and evil, the gods they'll be able to live forever. So when you understand, when you break constructs,
It says that they'll live forever.
yeah,
specifically?
it says, unless they take hold of the tree of forever life or something like that, the tree of life, and
Okay,
and
and that's
live
where
forever.
the forbidden fruit was.
No, it was forbidden from them because they didn't want them. Christ says,
I'm saying you said that they will be gods unless what? What was the stipulation for them being gods?
They've become gods like us, knowing good from evil. You have to be able to know good from evil to be a good judge. The word Elohim means judge as well. It means government, judge, God. So if I'm going to be a good judge, I have to know good from evil. Why would a benevolent God not want you to know good from evil? Don't you tell your children when they're born, that's not good, that's good? You want your creation to know good from evil. So there's the point that that's not God anyway, and that they lied. But I digress. Let me go back to what you asked me. They tell them at the end, they say to each other, we got to get them out of here, because now that they know good from evil, they're going to be gods. Christ told us all the time, you are gods. Who hated it? The evil ones, which are the symbolic of the Elohim, the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They were the ones that said, oh, why are you teaching them this? Oh, we got to kill this guy because the people are getting knowledge. Christ is showing them that they can be gods. Get it? The serpent told them, you can be gods. Christ told them, you can be gods. The Elohim said, don't do that. We don't want you to be gods. The Pharisees said, don't do that. We don't want you to be gods. Jesus is the serpent in the garden. That's a representation
So that's
of
an
Jesus.
ex facto way to break it down, but that doesn't mean that Jesus is the serpent himself.
Okay,
There's
well,
no text that supports that. It's just
I just gave you text.
No, you're giving me text and you're giving me context.
No, I'm giving you the actual scriptures in the Bible.
But I'm saying Jesus did say that, but that doesn't mean that he existed during the same time of the Garden of Eden.
Excuse me? I thought Jesus is everlasting. Aren't
But
you a
he's
Christian?
yes, but that's the consciousness
wait,
of Jesus at that
doesn't
time when he
John-
came in the
doesn't- what does it
physical
say in
flesh.
John? What
He
does it
came
say
in the
John?
physical
Hold
flesh.
on, I need
John
you to answer
3:16 or
Does-
which
What
John?
does he say? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, right?
Correct.
So I thought Jesus is there in the beginning.
Right, the conscious of Jesus there in the beginning, but Jesus
Con-
as
oh,
the
it's the
physical man,
context. Wait, you don't-
Jesus in the physical sense existed around before 33 AD.
Right,
Jesus
because it's
existed
not just about
2026
flesh.
years ago.
He came in different
But
times.
what evidence would give you that he is that serpent specifically? You're using the same words that the
I just
serpent
gave
did.
you
Does that
evidence.
mean that you're the serpent?
Wait, I just gave you evidence. Jesus
said
Okay.
Jesus said that we can do the same things as him and more through God.
Through God, okay.
He said we can do the same things and more. So it doesn't mean that we
What
can
did the
just
serpent say to the
capitalize.
people in
Hold
the
on.
garden?
But did he say it through God? Did
I
the
wanna stay on
serpent
your
say?
point. I
I'm
wanna
staying
stay
on the
on your point.
point. Jesus said we can do it through God. Did the serpent say that you could do it through God, or did he say you have to do it behind his back?
Jesus said, "You will be gods," right?
No, he did not say you will be
really?
gods.
They didn't tell Jesus. Why are you saying? Jesus said, "Aren't?"
Jesus
they
did
wanted
not
to-
say you will be gods.
Oh wait, hold on. Jesus says, "Ye are gods." Doesn't it say that in Psalms 82? That's what
Yeah,
Christ said.
but he's
in
not saying
the
you
gospel.
will be. He's already claiming it.
My point, the God, stay with the God
I'm
part.
staying with it. Okay.
Christ said, ye are gods.
Mhm.
Doesn't it say that in the Bible? And by the way, he's talking about sons of God.
Of course.
In Psalms 82, he's discussing the sons of God, the Elohim, which is, that's like a play on words. But anyway, Christ says, ye are gods. Doesn't it say that in your scriptures? In the garden, Christ said, oh, they don't want you to be gods. You guys can be gods. Eat that fruit. Ye are gods. Basically, Christ wasn't saying, hey, all you sinners are gods. He says there's a way to become God, and it is to follow a certain path.
Two different entities saying something that's
It's
the
the same.
same does not mean it's the same person.
Oh, it's in the understanding of Christ in the Bible. We know that Christ is everlasting. Christ is always present. Do you not agree with that as a Christian?
I agree with that.
Has Christ been around before he was born in 26 years ago, roughly? So you agree that Christ was here before, right?
Now, this is where I want to ask you, do you mean physically or spiritually? Was he here before? Spiritually, he was here before. Physically, he was not here before.
And does spirit manifest into flesh?
It can.
It can, or does it?
It can't. It doesn't always happen that way. There's some spirits that still exist that have not manifested in the flesh.
The flesh that is here, is there spirit in it?
That's correct.
Okay, so
and that has the breath of God, the breath of God that we were discussing
there you go,
earlier.
Yes. So we both agree that Christ always existed.
Mm-hmm.
We agree that that flesh holds spirit.
Correct.
So you understand my concept that Christ was there in a not in a different type of form in the garden, and then later in the gospel, Christ came as flesh and blood.
So why would you determine that? The serpent did not reveal himself to be Jesus. He did not reveal himself to be the Savior. The snake did not reveal himself to be the one to help and heal. Jesus told you he's the Savior.
Oh, so the serpent didn't help them by saying you can be gods?
Jesus did help. The serpent did help them. Jesus, when he talked to his people.
The serpent did help them. Wow, I love it. We're doing well. You're making some progress.
I'm telling you, the serpent helped them to give them the option to do what they wanted to do. And that option was still on them. And they still disobeyed. They still disobeyed. And look at the consequences that they had. It's the evidence there that they did not live eternally that they were supposed to. But Jesus came back to rectify that and told us how we can live eternally.
Stop right there.
Go ahead.
When Jesus came, did he say, if you follow this path that I'm showing you, pointing to, you will be able to live forever?
He said through God. And that was
we got that
right. So that's the path.
That's not
the serpent did not tell them through God. That's why I'm telling you the contradiction that he did not tell them through God. He told them through the forbidden fruit.
The serpent told them through God because the serpent is part of the Elohim as well. When you
see how you're playing with the words of it though, like he's distinctly told them through the fruit.
If we look at what the late Dr. Michael Heiser teaches, he doesn't teach Jesus as a serpent, but he talks about the Elohim. He even teaches, he breaks it down, that the Elohim is a type of spiritual. We look at the seraphim. We look at the Nahash in the Bible. Those are type of fiery serpent-like beings. Earlier someone brought
But that's all interpretation.
I want to give you some actual facts.
I'm listening to it, but that's still based off. But you're saying a fire is a serpent. How is a fire a serpent? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, I'm listening.
One reason a fire can symbolize a serpent is the way.
Symbolize. How is that a fact?
Okay.
Okay,
you
go ahead.
asked me to tell you why would Dr. Heiser and others say that a serpent is fire as well.
Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry.
They move like a flame. They're symbolic. Throughout even other texts, ancient texts, serpents were divine. They weren't seen as evil. So Michael Heiser doesn't say Jesus is a serpent, but he does say that it's the Elohim who are fiery beings. In the desert with Moses, when the serpents bit the people, they said they were fiery Nahash. They were actually shining fiery beings. That is a serpent as well. Because of those beings were type of, you can call them heavenly bodies, watchers, whatever you want to call them. So in the garden, when you hear serpent, Christ existed as one of the heavenly bodies, just like Satan existed as a heavenly body. There was no difference. The whole count, Satan is no different than Christ.
So
as far
based
as
off of what you're saying, the serpent represents this fiery flame, right?
The serpent was a seraphim or a Nahash.
Okay, so let's just go on that basis.
And
do you
Elohim
understand?
were also
but do you
Nahash.
understand that the serpent in the Garden of Eden wasn't like that kind of serpent. It
Oh,
was a
really?
different serpent.
Where do
It
you
had
see that?
legs and it was casted
Oh,
out.
where are you seeing this?
It was casted out the Garden of
Can you
Eden
show
where
me
they
where that
removed
is
it.
and what text
Yes,
that it
please.
says that it
This
has
is in
legs?
Genesis. That it was
It's in
it
Genesis
was
that it had
cursed to
legs?
slither around for all time after that.
Wait, so it said it has legs.
It was cursed to slither after its punishment.
I want to get back to before the curse.
Go ahead.
Where does it say that it has legs?
So
in the
why would
Bible?
it have to be cursed to slither afterwards? If you're able to follow context clues, what was it doing before that if it's slithering afterwards?
All of us have imaginations.
I'm not saying imaginations.
And I'm imagining,
So why would it now start slithering after the Garden of Eden if it's already been doing that? What alteration happened?
Okay, that particular verse.
Are you familiar that there's an alteration that happened that had to occur for it to have that punishment afterwards?
When it says you're cursed to, that's very esoteric. When it says you'll be cursed, you'll be lower. Let me ask you a question: Is Christ downtrodden? Is Christ lower in the gospel, or is he a king with glory? And is he rich, or is he a pauper that hides and he was crucified and he was spit on and hated? Which one is that? Which one was low? Was Christ a king, or was he spit on and low?
That is interpretation.
No, it
it's going to
isn't.
be based
I'm
on
asking you a
interpretation.
question.
Because Christ was king. He was
he
revered.
rich,
he was rich in
respected?
favor, and he was respected. When
Oh,
he
was
walked
rich
through
in
the crowd,
favor? What
when they
Bible are you
grabbed on,
reading?
he was
couldn't
rich and
even
favored
find
by
a
the
place
people.
for Passover. He said, "See that guy with that pitcher of water? Go ask him if we could do Passover at his house." How is he a king?
Okay, but did they not still obey him as if he was a king?
Material.
No, but I'm not speaking on material. You asked me a question. I'm telling you that they did worship him and he was still a king. There were still people bowing down and kissing at his feet the same way that they would a king while he walked through these grounds.
Right.
They still gave him a chariot ride, and he even had a crown.
Was he rich?
And he had a crown.
Was he rich?
He had gifts of gold by the three wise men when he was born.
Was Christ rich in the gospel?
Christ was rich.
Okay,
Christ was rich.
So let me tell you, Christ was not rich in the gospel. Christ said even the Son of Man doesn't have a place to lay his head. He didn't even have a place to live. He was homeless.
Yeah, because
why are you saying yeah?
Home was heaven.
You just
of
said
course
he was
was
rich.
homeless.
Why are you
we
agreeing
weren't
with me
home
now?
yet. He was
Wait,
still walking and
why
leading
are you-
everyone
wait,
to
wait,
home.
I'm going back to what you just did.
I'm listening.
You said yes, Christ was rich, and
Yeah,
I
he
almost
is.
said the LIE word, but I don't want to be rude.
Go ahead,
So I
I'm
went
listening.
to the scriptures and I showed you a scripture, not my feelings.
I'm listening.
It says Christ was homeless, and then you said yeah.
He was homeless.
So wait, so was he rich?
Yes, he's still rich.
Okay, this is crazy.
I said he was rich in favor. Did I
So
not
rich
say he was
people are
rich
homeless.
in favor? He turned away all worldly possessions to
I'm gonna
prove his
ask you
real
again,
richness.
because we're talking
So
about
what
that.
is? But are you saying materialistically rich? Because are you basing?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying all this time. Because you brought up gold.
I already said, but I said he was still gifted gold by the three wise men. Was he not?
Did he live in opulence? Did he say, "Hey"?
Did Jesus have money and was he popping tags? No, Jesus
Great,
wasn't
stop right
popping
there.
tags.
Do people make fun of Christ more, and Christians more than any other Abraham, more than Islam, more than Judaism? Do they really are the
That's
Christians?
all perspective as well, because
Okay,
Jews
right
will
there.
tell you that they're the ones that are being the most.
So are you agree
ridiculed
that
throughout the
Christians are the
planet.
most ridiculed, right? They're the lowest.
I didn't say that. I said
Okay,
that's all
just-
perspective.
Can you make fun of Christ without getting worrying about somebody doing something to you?
You
like-
can absolutely do it. We've seen multiple
without
people say
getting
blasphemous
canceled,
comments.
without getting unalived, right?
There's
So
a
when
gentleman
so
that
the
makes a
scripture-
career
my-
of saying
so my
statements about
point-
Jesus right behind you.
So my point
It's
is,
like,
when you look
you.
so my point is, when you said, "Oh, and look, it says he's going to be low in the dirt," that's the symbolism. Christ is low in the dirt. Nobody respects Christ. Let's be real. Besides Christians, everybody makes the history. It's clear that there's historicity of Christ, but you can still sit with people and they'll tell you, no, there's no historicity of Christ. He's the lowest
So
of all.
you're saying he's the
Nobody
lowest of
respects
low.
Jesus. So that's the point of that. Back to what I was saying.
No,
So
but you're
that's
saying that
point
he's
I'm
the
making.
lowest low.
Back
Okay,
to
go
the
ahead.
thing about the serpent. It's not a literal snake. It is, according to Dr. Heiser.
But you play back and forth between what you want to take literal
I'm
and
really
what
just
you want to
giving
do
you
as
facts and I'm
symbolism.
giving you my
But
breakdown.
you're saying the facts is based off of what is literal, and then you say it's now a metaphor. So I don't know which way to follow how you're handling the
You
conversation.
shouldn't be in the Bible if you don't know how to look at metaphors.
But
What are
I
you
do.
doing?
But I'm going off of your words. I'm trying to follow you right now. I'm not follow. You're not the Bible.
So
I'm
what part
following
don't
your
you- 'cause
words.
You kept bringing up, that's a little complex, but I did entertain it about the dirt and the lowest dirt.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's not a real snake. It never was a actual snake.
But you just told me about the fire being the symbolism for
Yeah.
the snake, and that was your proof that you
Fiery
utilized.
beams,
So if
shining
you're,
beams.
but no, if you're
According to
utilizing it
scripture.
because of the way that the flames look like a
Seraphim,
snake,
Seraphim.
seraphim, if you're saying for Seraphim that the flames look like a snake, I'm going based off of that. That was your proof and evidence.
Well, that was one
But you were using
example.
that. That was your evidence that the snake there had to be Christ. Now you're saying it's not a snake. So you're agreeing with me.
No, it never was a real, literal reptile.
Correct. Okay, so what was it?
Do snakes talk?
No, but I'm saying
didn't-
you're the one that was using the basis of the snake and saying Jesus was the
Because
snake
it's
there.
symbolic. It's
So-
not a real snake.
So what is it then?
I just told you they were
It was-
angels.
it was
like,
fire.
well, they were
That
they
looked
were-
like a snake.
No,
but it
they're-
wasn't a snake.
The Bible,
Based off of snakes.
Remember, we're talking about the Bible.
I'm listening. I'm following.
The Bible says there's seraphim,
Mhm.
there are nakash, the Elohim. It doesn't literally say, or excuse me, it doesn't explicitly say the Elohim are seraphim. But if you look at Isaiah, there's guardians around the throne in Isaiah, I believe it's 14, and those are a type of shining, fiery beings.
So
And-
did
and
it state
if you
that was
deduce-
the being in the Garden of Eden?
yeah, I'm getting to that. If
I'm
you
listening.
deduce that the throne, the people of the throne, the sons of God,
Mm-hmm.
these divine beings are represented in Isaiah as these serpent-like beings, you can say, oh, okay, that makes sense that this serpent in the garden is not actually a snake. It's an angelic-like being.
I can agree to that.
So that's the
I can agree to
Let's
that.
wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate your stance on it.
That popped up true.
What did?
The Bible, the snake, about the snake, everything said about the snake, it wasn't an actual snake.
And that was the first thing that I said, that it wasn't an actual snake. But then we went to that interpretation. But I understand. So I thank you for your
All
time.
right. Thanks for staying all the way to the end, guys. It means a lot to me. If you could please leave a review on Apple, that helps us climb the charts. It helps us get way more guests, and it helps us continue growing the podcast and the team. So it would mean a lot to me if you left a review on Apple or wherever else you're listening. Thanks so much. Okay, so his final claim, Vem, is black people should get reparations. How do you feel about that?
You know, I think if black people were to get reparations, everybody else that has gone through historic injustice should also get reparations. So I'd be cool with reparations as long as people that had historic injustice, including like Native American, everybody needs reparations. It's one of those things where if one group gets it, other groups that have gone through historical injustice need to get it for the sake of fairness.
So nobody received reparations.
I think it's either or.
No, I'm saying, have
gets it-
anybody received reparations?
Well, you know, there's been historically reparations. I think we've seen it with like the Holocaust, for example.
No, I know. I said in slavery, have anybody received reparations? Because you suggested that if one person received reparations, then everybody else should. Have anybody received it?
I don't think anybody has. but
Well,
there was
I'm gonna
supposed
tell you a
be-
fact that's a lie. They did receive reparations. Everybody that had a slave,
Mm-hmm.
then white, they received reparations for their land and for the things like that. So reparations was given. And you suggested that if it goes for one, it should go for all. So you suggested that black people should get reparations, not me.
I mean, there was the 40 acres and a mule thing. That
But
there was back in the-
and right now that'd be billions of dollars that they supposed to get. But listen, I'm gonna say this: when it comes to reparations, a lot of people suggest that people should get reparations. But first, I think they should tell people where they're from. See, what's more important than reparations is where I'm actually from. See, reparations not gonna help me. Money's gonna be here today, gone tomorrow. They give me 40 acres and a mule. They give me 40 million. I'm gonna spend it. It's gonna be gone. I want to know where the fuck I'm from. I don't give a fuck about reparations. I want them to unravel history and stop giving me his story. I want that. I don't give a fuck about reparations because reparations was given to the people that deserved it, and evidently the white people deserved it because the white people got it. Y'all already got reparations.
Well, when you say you all, I mean, I don't know if I consider because again,
I mean, your ancestors.
Well, it's not my ancestors though. That's the issue with I think just calling people white just because they look white. You know what I mean? Like because it's not like it has certain connotations of what that means.
I like
but there's
that.
a lot of white people that have actually gone through historic injustices like black people have for different reasons. I mean, I know my ancestors were like straight up like 75% of them were murdered because they were Christians. They were Christians in a Muslim area. So, and they lost like 90% of their land. I would love that to be resolved because this was like 100 years ago. It wasn't even that long.
What land?
Like half of Turkey is Armenia. Half of Turkey's Armenia, dude.
You
like,
Armenian.
Historic Armenia.
But you white.
Biblical Armenia.
But you white.
But what is white?
But
though?
you white.
What is white though?
But you white. When
What is
you
white?
get when you get done talking, you're white, right?
What is white though?
What are you?
I mean, I consider myself like Near Eastern,
What-
Caucasus.
what-
I'm from the Caucasus
When
Mountains.
you get done talking, you're white. You was genetically created, right? You are a human. You were created to work, right? You were created to say everything that you created. I wasn't created to follow what you're saying. That was not for me. I'm the creator of what you're saying. I taught you everything you know. And that's what you don't get, right? You go sit here and suggest that you stole it. I say you didn't steal it. I say I gave it to you. The information, everything in the world, I gave you. I gave it all to you. Right? I don't think you get it. I don't think you understand.
I don't understand that.
So reparations, I know it's confusing because everything's confusing. Life is confusing. But you suggested in the beginning it's about reparations, right? But you suggested that we should not get reparations, but we said we should.
No, I think everybody
you
should
said
get
we
reparations,
should if
nobody should get reparations.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody got it, so everybody should get it.
Yeah.
So you already on my side. So
Probably,
you always on my side.
Probably, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about how historically white people, when their slaves were taken away, were given reparations.
It was never slavery. Slavery never existed.
You don't? What do you mean?
I mean, prove it. We're a slave ship. Slavery never existed because Christopher Columbus didn't find America. People was already here, and there wasn't no damn Indians because the Indians already said that we was here and that we gave them something, right? And what we gave them was weapons, right? I don't think you get that, right? So your history is wrong. Right? Everything is wrong. I don't want reparations. I want America, nigga.
I agree with you. I agree with you about discovering where we're all from because that's the issue that exists with white people. How like just because you look white, you're kind of put in a bucket. That also exists with black people because historically you got the Moors and all that, and like people don't talk about that.
Well, listen, I'm saying my kind are different. When you talk about Africans, you talk about all those. You heard the story about black people sold black people. Well, black people didn't sell black people. Africans sold me. I don't think you get it, right? Because we're different. Just like you suggested.
I get where you're going with that. I do.
Yeah, everything is different, right? But as far as reparations, I don't think you're going to say this, that cotton. Everybody say, okay, picking cotton. But cotton was a major thing that they was selling a lot, right? You can't find nothing without cotton, right? And everybody look at it all because that built America, right? That helped build this nation, right? But it ain't something that they suggested. We was already selling cotton, nigga.
Yeah.
That's what we was already doing, right? They came in and took over it. Just like right now, if you look at a whole lot of shit that so-called black people created, the white man decide how we use it. And so, everything is like that in this prison planet.
Cool. Yeah. You want to get up here? Thanks for watching all the way to the end, guys. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps us grow the show and helps us get bigger guests. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
There's not many white people here, so.
See, I don't know why you just lied. See, when you say stuff, I gotta let you know.
That was a lie?
Yes, a lie, because that's true, because out of black is how you create white. So every black person you see here is white because that's how you get it. You cannot get a black person from a white woman, but
so
you
he's
can.
Black.
Of course.
I'm black.
Street
Of
cred
course.
through the roof.
Of course. See, I think y'all.
We can say the N-word?
Yeah.
I think so.
Y'all separate things, but
You
everything.
can say the N-word.
Yeah, listen, the
Don't
N-word.
set me up for that. Sean's gonna go.
No.
Sean's gonna go him
You
too.
can say it. You can say it.
Like how he didn't say me.
Listen,
so he can do the thing.
You can say it because in history, y'all was actually trying to say it. I can't say the word. I think it was Naga. I forgot what it was. But
I know.
But they heard that word. And, Naga. So they was trying to say that. Yeah, so it's okay, it's proper to say. But I think that people let words attach to their emotions. So if you let a word attach to your emotions, that's your fault. Right? A word should not attach to your emotion. A word is just a fucking word. That's all it is. But people put words in higher places.
So you don't think there is white? I mean, so like him, and so it's the whole putting all white people in one bucket thing's interesting because he's like trying to be distinct about where when you get pulled over, you're not like I'm Armenian, It's like sometimes you want to get put in that fucking bucket, So let's not act like everyone wants to, you get pulled over, you're white. If you're saying that reparations do or don't, I don't even understand your take. What is your position?
I'm saying that reparations was given, right, to the people that had land.
To the white people.
Yes, I'm saying we want the land. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't want reparations. We want the land. If we can't have the land, we don't want anything. And then I don't want the land either.
Maybe just like some of the land.
I don't want some. I want
the
all.
good parts.
No, I want all. I want the good and the bad. I want the land. Because when America first came over here, it was already a president here. What happened to him? He's on the back of the $2 bill. Right? He was already here.
That?
Yeah. I don't think you understand. The first president was Abraham Lincoln. Right?
He's a white guy.
I'm not too sure that Abraham Lincoln was even white.
All right. Well, I mean, if I guess I have no proof of it.
I'm not sure that he was even white. I think history has been whitewashed. I don't.
I mean, that's a fact.
Well, listen, but I don't think it was done like a lot of people say that it was stolen or it was done like that. I believe, like I suggest that it's black people doing it, and white people are doing it for black people.
So black people are behind the scenes pulling the strings regardless.
Yeah.
So you think they were in charge when there was black people being sold for slavery?
Still in charge and been in charge to this day, right? Y'all are just a cover up. Welcome. I'm keeping it real,
Damn.
right? People understand, but they're gonna agree. They're gonna say it was a black Illuminati, it was a white Illuminati. They're gonna say that everything that black it was white, but they're gonna say everything started from the black, right? So what makes you think that you're controlling something? No, you're being controlled because everything that you learned from a person with melanin in there. Melanin, what's that word? Melanin in there? Yeah,
Melanin in there.
They had that in them, and they taught you, right? And then you begin to teach. So what make you think that you got better than the master? You didn't.
So you don't think that slavery was real?
Now, slavery not real. We prisoner of war.
Because that's not even a reparation thing. Slavery just didn't exist to
No,
you, or it was a
slavery
choice
was
to
different.
them, or what's your...
Slavery was different. See, slavery. A lot of people assume that slavery was a lot of people fighting, but slavery was an attack on this.
Yeah.
This
Black people.
bloodline, because like you can tell because
What do you mean?
all the white nations. That's why I say they're all white. Because all of them joined together and attacked us, right? They attacked us. You can see it. They landmarks is there. If you go to St. Louis, a whole lot of Italian shit there, right? Because they attacked us, right? You go to different places, you're going to see.
Italy attacked St. Louis?
Yeah, of course. All the European nations attacked America because we was here.
That tracks.
That's how they took it from us. We fought them for 300 years.
You were here.
I mean, yeah.
No, you're Indian too.
No, Indian. What? Indians,
Native American.
No, that's crazy. Indians
Yeah.
told you that we was here before them. Indians, because I told you this. Indians had a little spear, and they gave it to Christopher Columbus before he started balling them and eating them and frying them and eating them. Before he started eating them, they gave him something. Yeah, you know that he ate people when he came
was
over
eating
here?
them?
Yeah, he was eating them.
I know he was a dickhead. I didn't know
No,
he was eating people.
He was eating people, right? Frying them, boiling them, sauteing them.
Would you eat a person?
Anybody that ever ate McDonald's ever ate a person.
You think McDonald's is serving human meat?
They tested it, and it had human meat in it. I'm not suggesting anything. They tested it, it had human meat in it, and McDonald's said this. McDonald's said that it only got human in it because humans touched it. That was McDonald's excuse. McDonald's excuse that humans touch it, so of course human meat is going to detect.
No,
human.
there ain't no McHuman. There's no
Yeah,
10-piece
yeah,
McHumans, girl.
Yeah. Okay.
So hold on. How about Burger King? Are they serving people?
Listen, I got a problem.
Because it can't be just
All right,
McDonald's.
listen, I got a problem. Everybody say they serve how many billions of burgers do Burger King say they serve? How many billions do McDonald's say they serve? So how many
7.4? No, I'm just kidding.
How many cows is it?
I mean, it's a lot.
How many cows is it?
But there's a lot.
No, not that many.
There's a lot of cows.
But not that many to say that.
There is. Do you know how? It's not like one cow per hamburger.
Where all the dead bodies at?
The dead cows?
The dead bodies, the human bodies, where they at? Why ain't no more cemeteries getting built? Why is the same number of cemeteries around and everybody keep dying? Because they change it after every 50 years.
And they take your body.
If you come back in 50 years, that tombstone going to be gone. You never get the casket. The casket is sold to somebody else the moment your funeral over. I'm keeping it real.
So your body, what happens to the body? It gets sold directly to McDonald's, and then they liquefy it and put it into the fucking McRib?
Listen, everything is fake. Even the recycling.
The McRib sounds kind of crazy.
Everything is fake. Did you know this? That everybody right now is recycling shit in recycle bins, and that's fake. We haven't even figured out how to recycle shit. Right? I'm keeping it real. For real. You think I'm playing?
No,
America don't even recycle. All the recycle bins are shit fake.
They haven't figured out an effective way to do it.
No, if you
cost.
follow the recycle bin, they're going to go the same place the rest of the trash go, all in one spot. So that's fake. Everything is an illusion. Everything is fake.
Yeah, I guess you see the trash and the recycling get thrown into the same thing sometimes, and it's like, all right, this must be the same.
No, it's the same. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess if slavery didn't even exist,
now
then
slavery
there's not.
exists. We're a prisoner of war.
Slavery
never existed.
Right. What if someone enslaved you right this second?
I mean, this is what I'm saying. The only
That would
slavery,
be real.
The only slavery that exists is the same slavery that exists now, slavery of the mind. Right? Jesus enslaved people. Right? Allah enslaved people. Right? Every religion enslaved people. Jobs enslaved people.
Oh, so you think people are enslaved to their job?
People
or
are enslaved to anything.
How about their partner too?
Oh, of course, to your partner.
A relationship.
People are slaves to their mother. Because listen,
That's
I'm
not a slave. That's just like a relationship,
no,
right?
I
think
gotta
that's
fake.
just
I
how-
gotta fake it. When I go in the house, I gotta pretend to be son.
You gotta pretend to be your mother's son.
I gotta right. I can't act like I was just acting with my female. I can't be boyfriend. I gotta put on a different face to see my mama. Right. I gotta put on a different face to see everybody. That's how the world works. So I decided to stop doing that.
Final point.
Yeah, my final point is I think you're a gem and you need to be protected at all costs, you know? I think you need to be protected. That's all. My final point is that I just hope no harm comes your way.
What,
And
you threatening me?
you need, obviously.
Oh, my.
Nah, I would never do that. BDGD Vice Lord.
If you learned anything from this episode or got any value at all, please share this episode with a friend. It helps us grow the channel, it helps us grow the podcast, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much. He wanted to talk about the shroud. Do you guys want me to pull the photo up again?
Yeah,
Sure.
But check out there's like carbon dating that was done that was more recent, where they actually dated it to like 2,000 years ago. No, for real, look it up.
What do I look up?
They carbon dated it where it's like literally right at 2,000 years old.
Well, I heard you mention that the Shroud
and by
of
the way,
Turin-
I don't know if I even believe in carbon dating. I just want to
Okay.
put that out there. It just, which I don't think negates the point I'm trying to make.
Well, I think that we were talking about the historicity of Jesus.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you cited was the Shroud of Turin. I was raised Christian. I remember actually having a book on the Shroud of Turin yes, I probably still have it. I have a lot of books. A book on the Shroud of Turin. I was very interested in it. But let's be very clear. In 1988, 3 different laboratories in different places, including one in Arizona, actually took a small portion of the Shroud of Turin and did independent analysis. All 3 of those spaces found that the Shroud of Turin dates to somewhere around the 13th or 14th century. So I want to be clear. And then they also looked at the way that it was woven, and they said it was typical for the Middle Ages. So let's be clear. The Shroud of Turin, something that was important to my thoughts as a Christian, as a young Christian, has been thoroughly debunked.
I don't know if it's been thoroughly debunked. Let's agree to disagree on that part, because I've seen the carbon dating. I've seen the 1200s version, but I've also seen more recent carbon dating. And I think they just took a sliver of the thread and they said that this was pretty much from that era. But let's not argue on that. I'll give you a few more points in order to like kind of historically prove that Jesus existed.
Why don't you? Okay, so I'm not going to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Because I think that when you have folks that are able to do the actual scientific analysis that everybody in the world uses to understand the origin, the source, the material of foreign objects that have some sort of organic origin. You can't carve in stone and rock. This is what we should recognize and understand. Now,
Okay,
I want to say something else. If the Shroud of Turin is fake, and I think that it has been debunked, that doesn't mean that in and of itself it means that Jesus did not exist. That's one thing that has been debunked. It's just a thing you mentioned. That's why I'm bringing it up. Yeah. But I'd love to know, you also mentioned there were many other sources. I'd love to know what you're referencing.
Sources are like the 12 disciples that see this man beat death, and then it is such a powerful thing that they witness that then they decide, I don't even know consciously, but they decide that death is nothing. And then you have these 12 disciples going through horrible tortures because they were Christians. They weren't just like killed. They were killed like, hanging upside down, crucified, their skin literally torn off their body, like flesh literally. And, you see like the guy's insides, you know what I mean? So this is like stuff that is the most excruciating pain, the worst kind of death that you could imagine. Yet these 12 disciples walked into that death singing hymns, talking about Jesus. A lot of them are not even feeling the pain while they're being literally killed slowly, like William Wallace. There's horrible stories like, how they killed William Wallace, cut off his, private parts, all that kind of stuff. These are like insanely painful deaths, and yet they would not deny Jesus during these tremendously painful deaths. Not only were they not denying Jesus, they were in joy that they were getting killed. So that to me is like, for 12, you're a man, I'm a man. What could we see, you and I, that could take the pain of being tortured to death away. So that's another one. Let me give you another
I
example.
think, wait, before you
Go
do
for
that,
it,
I'm going to say something very briefly.
Go for it.
Those stories are quite dramatic, but we have no historical evidence that they actually occurred.
We do. I do.
I want you to tell us about
Well,
them.
look up like old Armenian monks that were around during that time, and mind you, Armenians are like 8,000-year-old people. We're an ancient people. Look at their writings. Look at their manuscripts. What they actually witnessed. This is all.
No, we're talking about the. Wait. Don't broaden the lens too much. Let's keep the aperture where it was.
Yeah.
We're talking. You're mentioning the 12 apostles. By the way, apostles. You should also know that in the Bible, we're not always clear about what that number is, right? We say 12, but there's some people who are like, well, maybe the group is a little larger, right? There's no definitive list. These are the 12. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that. So I want you to also recognize that 12 as a number is used because of its numerological value.
Okay.
And so as we try to look for something that is historically proven as a literal event, even when we try to find these 12 apostles, we struggle. I'd love for you to show me a tomb of someone.
From our ancestry, from our history as my ancestors are Armenian people.
Right.
I gave the example of Saint Bartholomew. There's actual manuscripts that exist that talk about how Saint Bartholomew, a disciple of Christ who's in the Bible, then goes, and I think in the Bible it's like it might be Nicholas or something, but Bartholomew, same person. He comes to the Armenian highlands. Nathaniel. He comes to the Armenian highlands, and then he preaches Christianity. Armenia becomes the first Christian nation as a result. In the process of him teaching Armenians Christianity, this guy is basically, skin torn off, tortured to death, and these are things that we hear amongst my ancestors that made such a powerful impression. I think this man literally was destroyed.
We hear these things. It's not just your ancestors.
Yeah.
Lots of folks tell those stories. What I am saying is we don't have any definitive proof that they literally happened. These are stories about individuals who, by the way, after forsaking the Savior, it's interesting that when he was alive and they could say something, they were like, not me, I don't want that to happen. But then all of a sudden the story is that after his death, after seeing him risen, now all of a sudden they actually go to their death in these painful ways because they are true believers. There is nothing that we can find, tangible material culture, material sources for any of those things. We have stories of many of the people that we call apostles, right? They're stories. They're stories. When you go to Alexandria, you'll hear about St. Mark establishing the church there. You'll hear all of these stories. But when you look to find something as definitive proof, there is an extreme paucity of it. And listen, I'm a Kemetic priest, right? I'm not saying that something that's mythological is irrelevant. I certainly wouldn't say that. I'm just saying that when we try to actually shoehorn things that are mythological into a literal historical history, we have lots of problems. And I think that most people who are believers aren't even aware of any of it. They're not aware of any of it. And so that's the challenge that we have. I mean,
but that's part of faith, though. Like, you're wanting empirical proof, and part of faith, part of history is that you're not going to have empirical proof.
Wait. Now you're saying faith and history.
Well, you're looking for an answer to faith through history to say, look, this is empirical proof that has existed. Now, obviously, we have a disagreement because I'm talking about the disciples, I'm talking about Christ. Another thing that I want to bring up is I was a TV producer, right? Mm-hmm. So I did some ghost hunting shows, and I did some exorcism shows, like actual with Catholic priests and all that
you
stuff.
Found St. Bartholomew in exorcism?
No.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
No.
Come on. So I would have been like, I must bring the camera right now.
What's interesting is, and this happened way too many times, it's like in the absence of what happens in those moments, you realize Christ is there. And let me tell you why. Because you sit there, you could be like Gandhi, you could be like Buddha, you could carry a Buddha statue in front of these demonically possessed individuals, mm-hmm. and they will not react. But you say the name of Christ, you hold the cross up, these things freak out. And this wasn't just like on one occasion, it kept happening over and over again. Why is it
What's the name of Christ?
He's a Yeshua.
Oh, wait a minute. Now you said it was the name of Christ. Now you're not sure what the name is?
No, Yeshua. I
Weren't
mean,
you the person in the room?
Yeshua.
So you say Yeshua to these demonic individuals?
No. When you say Christ, so when you say Christ, or you hold a cross,
his name was Christ.
It freaks these demonic,
His name was
demonically
Christ?
possessed individuals. Yeah, I mean,
His
Christ.
name was Christ.
Well, no. When you say that name, it freaks them out.
What,
You could
wait.
say Buddha.
Is Christ a name or is it a title?
It's I mean, it's a name. Like, isn't it his name?
No. I don't think any biblical scholar would say that his name was Jesus Christ. That's just what you yell when you stub your toe.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that Christ is a title. In fact, it even predates those.
Okay,
those
regardless of what it
stories.
is, why is it that these individuals that are demonically possessed don't react to Buddha? They don't react. You could say Gandhi, Buddha, whatever you want. You say the name of Christ. You hold a cross up. They have a physical reaction. They whatever's inside them is rebelling against that. You see evil come out. So doesn't that tell you that there's something?
These are people who have been connected to, familiar with the Christian story, and I really don't believe that the name, a title, by the way. A title that is using vocalized sounds that didn't exist in Aramaic, didn't exist. I mean, you realize that you're saying Christ, but no one would actually say that's the name of Jesus. No one would actually say that that title didn't predate Jesus, and it probably wasn't pronounced exactly the same way. Isn't that peculiar that someone would respond that way to something that is not strictly connected to Jesus, as you're trying to?
I mean, I don't know the answer. Like, there's a lot of answers I don't have, but I realize that for some reason this is the worst thing you could bring upon a demonically possessed individual is the name of Christ, the cross. For some reason, they react to that. Now, do I understand what is the reason? Do I know the details of what happened in history that validated that? I can't answer that because there's a lot of things that we don't know. But I see from the reaction of these demonically possessed individuals, I see by the reaction of the apostles who were that were willing to die for the cause. And then there's a Shroud of Turin. And for me, there's way too much information out there to validate the fact that Jesus was alive, including, by the way, you say, okay, there's no proof. Read some Armenian manuscripts about St. Bartholomew and his preaching and how many Christians died.
From what period?
Bartholomew was killed on 69 AD. Mm-hmm. So anything Byzantine era, which is basically the closest era to Christ. And by the way, when you go into the Byzantine era, you notice that from the proximity of Christ's time, and again, this is written in the old Armenian historical literature, that there's a lot of miracles happening, water into wine type events, and then that dies down as the Byzantine era dies down. And if you actually read the Bible, it is in the proximity of Christ that these miracles happen. So what I see during that time in the Byzantine era is a lot of miracles happening. Then they die down. We go through Dark Ages. Now we're in an era where these miracles are coming back. People are actually seeing these miracles. So does that mean Christ is coming back? I have no idea. I'm not that smart to understand.
I would say that in this instance, we have to recognize that one of the reasons why we are told by people who are Christian leaders that we have to have faith is because they know that once you start asking questions, what they're saying unravels. That's the reason why they say you must have faith, my son. Well, I was raised Christian. I was told that when I'd ask some questions. They'd say, well, this is a crisis of faith. And I wish I was astute enough at the time to say, no, this is a crisis of fact. What you are saying to me is not factual. That's the challenge that I have. I don't have any problem whatsoever with you drawing inspiration, solace from a narrative that helps you live as a decent human being. That's not what I'm talking about. If that's what you're going to do, wonderful. Do it all day long. But I'm saying that when we begin to do two things, shoehorn the Christian narrative into a historical, literal narrative, first of all, it doesn't fit and it causes lots of problems. And then the other thing that Christians end up doing is they look at this story, this recent story. Human beings lived for a long time before these stories, had many, many books and texts. This recent story, they begin to now tell that story as if it is the history of all humanity. This is a problem. This is a problem. If you want to be Christian, great. But now that you have said this story is literal, and it is the salvation of every person on the planet, we have a problem. Because there are a multiplicity of traditions, older, there are multiplicity of people in different cultures, we have a problem. So you're telling me that a guy with a cow that lives someplace in rural China that has never heard of Jesus, he's going to hell because he didn't.
No, that's not a
Jesus.
claim I'm making. What I'm saying is also, if you look at the way the world is constructed, and what we were talking about before, we're living in a slave world, and if you look at how the Federal Reserve Act is written, for example, that is written to enslave us. Now you counter it with the teachings of the Bible. It's literally an inversion of God's word, right? And that's the trick. That's where you see through what the evil does to enslave us, you see that it's an inversion of what the teachings of Christ.
Are you saying that the Federal Reserve is an antichrist?
Yeah, very clearly I'm telling you that. Very clearly I'm telling you that. I'm telling you the medical system is antichrist influenced.
You're talking to a descendant of enslaved Africans. The most heinous things that ever happened to human beings happened to people that are in my direct lineage. Some of whose names I know.
I could argue the same thing happened to our people. They were literally pregnant when we were getting their bellies cut out.
I'm very aware of the Armenian genocide, and I'm not trying to say that it's not something that more people should know about. I've studied the Armenian genocide, and I think that even calling it Armenian genocide causes problems in certain parts of the world.
Oh yeah, totally. It's
denied. So that's real. That's real. I'm not even saying that wasn't.
And that's an example of an antichrist movement, by the way. And this is the point I'm trying to make.
Why is it an example of an antichrist movement? Sometimes human beings do terrible things to other human beings. This has nothing to do
because the teachings of Christ are all about liberty, freedom, our sovereignty as individuals.
I really wish that you could have a time machine and go back to tell that to the enslavers who forced my people to practice Christianity. I would love for you to tell them, you're a Christian, why are you doing that to these people? And then why are you forcing them with the Bible? Do you know, just a short period ago, you've heard of Georgetown University.
Yeah.
Did you know that Georgetown University had a major financial crisis? And in order to remain solvent, what they did is they sold their 272 enslaved people. That's how Georgetown still exists. It's sometimes just referenced as a 272. And those people were all Christians. All of those enslaved people were Christians. We have a record of one of those enslaved Christians who had gone to the pastor and said, I hear that you're going to sell us. And that pastor said, no, that's not true, my son. And a few weeks later, here he was being put in chains and being sold into the deep south, more arduous slavery. Do you know what he said? You lied to me. Can you at least give me a Bible? He was given none. That's the tradition of Christianity that I am riling against.
But you're talking about flawed humans that are that are able to make evil out of anything.
It is so unique for us to then say that everything that people have done under the name of Christianity that is evil is flawed.
Well, okay, I'll give you another reason why the Christian church, because you're talking about human structures, right? If you even look at the way the Christian church is right now, where you got to go apply for a 501 to start a church, right? 501 nonprofit. You don't have to. I know.
Yeah,
I know you don't. You and I know that, but most people.
I run a spiritual institution.
Most people think that you have to do that. Now, what are you doing when you go and you start? You ask the government for permission to have a church. You're actually, and then you realize, what is that government's agenda? You realize you're literally signing your name to something that's...
You've already acknowledged that if you have a spiritual institution, you are not obligated to file a 501c.
Most people don't know that, though. 99.9% of people don't know you could start a church off of an affidavit. You and I obviously know that.
I don't know why you would say most people don't know that.
They don't know
I run
that.
one. I don't have a 501c3. In fact, I got a 501c3 for a nonprofit, but not my spiritual institution.
You know how you know most people don't know that? 99% of churches are 501cs. 1% maybe in the entire country are done off of affidavit.
I don't know about your numbers.
Most of the functioning was our 501cs because you can't even function. The way the system's built is unless you get a 501, if you try to do it off of affidavit the Christian way, the way the Bible tells you to do it, well, then you can't even set up a bank account most places. It's still possible. They just make it a lot harder. They want you to have an EIN.
Yeah, well, you have an EIN. That's how they're able to track
then you're under that system. You're answering to government. So
you actually also think your Social Security number is a demonic device?
I think all of it's demonic. I think because the way they do it, if you actually look at the way the government works and how they monetize us as human beings, each one of us has a value. Like they collateralize us as humans. They're like, all right, your life value is worth $100 million. Okay, we have $100 million in the bank. That's the way it works. That's the way the Federal Reserve works.
That is not how the Federal Reserve works.
No, that's how it works.
Listen, There are a lot of folks who have said that to me in my community. I've debunked it 80 trillion times. The Federal Reserve is not raising money on your Social Security number or on your value. It's just not. This is something that you could. And by the way, you notice that it says 99% of churches in the U.S. are 501c3, while they're saying the AI is saying you're wrong. But I want you. And by the way, look at the Georgetown University 272 enslaved people. That one is correct.
You want to look up what percentage of churches are 501c3s?
What percentage of churches are 501c3s in the United States?
I just want you to know that you have a lot of beliefs that are connected to things that are completely unprovable, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, most faith is unprovable.
But remember, what we're talking about is whether there was a historical, literal person that we could call Jesus Christ. And I'm saying that when you actually look at the evidence, as I have done for 30 years, 30 plus years.
All right, so why did the disciples all decide to be massacred and follow this
I'm telling you that's
individual?
I'm telling you that's part of the story, dear friend.
Okay, so how does that? I'm trying to understand how that even comes about.
We have no material because some folks wrote it, and it's a powerful story.
But let's go back. Let's go back in time 2,000 years. The Roman Empire.
That story is not 2,000 years old.
Okay,
it is not.
Whenever Jesus was supposed to have existed,
okay,
they claim he went up against the Roman Empire. Why would the Roman Empire want to create this fictitious thing to control the world? Back in 0, 30, 40, 50 AD.
Well, let's be clear. The Roman Empire,
because they're trying to kill
the Roman
all the Christians.
Empire. I don't believe the Roman Empire creates the narrative of Jesus Christ. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying the Roman Empire was against the
There were early Christians. Yeah. There were early Christians. Although, I'm going to beat you up on Tacitus a little bit more. Because it's one of the things people mention. I think you're going to too.
Which one? Say that again.
Tacitus.
I don't. What is Tacitus?
Okay, so I'm not going to beat him up.
Okay, what is Tacitus?
That's for our other friend that spoke. But it's one of the sources that people use. Mm-hmm. I want to just be clear that when you look at the sources, they're wanting. There's a lot that we don't, that we can't actually prove. And this is the only time that we would use even those sources as a source for historicity. None of them are written during that period. We have anonymous texts that we know have been edited. We can see many of the major life narrative of Jesus occurring in other periods before there was ever a Jesus. We even see,
but that's prophecy, though. You could say that's prophecy.
We even see early. I would love to hear which church would agree that the narratives of ancient Kemet were prophecy for Christianity. I'd love to see which churches. By the way, there are a few, but they were all black. I just want you to know. But really, the Church of Black Madonna is one of them. I'm a historian. I have to stop myself from speaking sometimes because I'll give you lots of sources. But I want you to know that when we look at actually trying to find things that can prove that there was someone that did the things that Jesus did, performed these miracles, let's say with the name Yeshua, we struggle. The best case is the one that comes from the Talmud. And they say there are 3. Mm-hmm. And those descriptions, that's not the Jesus you're following. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people will say disingenuously, well, Jesus exists in the Talmud. And they're saying that because they think that the person they're talking to has never read the Talmud. That's usually why they say it. Mm-hmm. And so the question you have to say is, well, which of the 3 do you think is Jesus? Because there are 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And so there are lots of different ways for us to slice this. I just want to say, when we look at all of these facts, we have to say, even believers have to say, this is dubious. This is dubious. I'm not talking about your faith. I'm not talking about your belief. If this works for you and makes you a decent person, wonderful. Do it all day long, twice all day long.
It's not only that. It's like I've seen so my background is in investigative journalism. I've actually studied on how they make our money, how this entire matrix is built. When you see that this is an inversion, because the Bible's all about Christ and Antichrist. When you realize that this is an inversion of God's message, of the message of Jesus Christ, and it is leading to it is leading to the same enslavement of the people that Jesus Christ was talking about when he took out the whip and he berated the money changers and stuff. This is the world we're living in. We're living in the Antichrist world right now.
I want you to glance at the screen when you keep looking. Christianity is directly influenced by Kemet, ancient Egypt, and indirectly by mystery traditions, supported. I just want you to look at that. Sections of the Bible, specifically Proverbs, come from Kemetic texts, like the book of Amenemop, supported.
I'm not saying it wasn't historically influenced. I don't think Christianity just landed and all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere. I think there is historical precedent. I think there's prophecy. I think people, the mystics, realized that there was something coming.
But how do you call it prophecy when one group of people actually decides that they're going to take liberally from another tradition and then annihilate that tradition?
I mean, I don't know if that's something that they did cognitively.
Now, I'm an author. I've written a book,
Yeah.
right? Right? If you had found out that Jabari El-Sazeh wrote a book, and then someone said, wait a minute, this book, word for word, was written by someone else. Well, who's that other person? I don't know. He died, and Jabari was... strangely, he was at the scene of the murder. You would start saying, wait a minute, something nefarious has occurred.
But then you got to look at humanity and be like, all right, so Napoleon, when he made that famous statement of how Jesus Christ was more influential on the world than he could ever be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at that and you're talking about millions of people that have fallen into this hallucination, are we distrusting humanity so much where we're saying that millions, potentially billions of people are out of their mind?
It's over 2 billion people.
Are they out of their mind? Or is there something to this that we might not be able to capture in a literal sense and make it make logical sense in our world, but it is something that nonetheless exists because you got 2 million people that would die for Christ.
It's not 2 million, it's
2 billion. Sorry, 2
but
billion.
I want to be clear that I'm someone who was once Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the most beautiful people that I know are Christian. I'm not even saying that there isn't value in studying many of not all of it. I read the Bible very critically. Not all of it. The misogyny in the Bible is ridiculous. But honestly, when we look at what some really wonderful people have done because those stories have touched their lives, I would be crazy to say you should take it away from them. I'm talking historically now. I think we have to recognize that Christianity came from somewhere. And
I agree with that. I agree it came from somewhere.
And as it came from somewhere, we have to look at where it came from, how it was created, and who sought to author a literal historical tradition. That you have to say is the Roman Empire, and it occurs in the 3rd and 4th century. That's when this happens.
But the Romans were against Christianity, though, in the beginning. I mean, you're talking about 300-400 years later.
I would argue that Christianity would not exist were it not for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire takes this small itinerant thing and makes it essentially this massive tradition.
Mm-hmm.
It would not. So when you say the Romans were against Christianity, there were some examples of them being against the tradition earlier. But at the same time, you have to say, without the Roman Empire, let's just be clear. What's the largest Christian denomination in the world?
Well, Roman and Byzantine. Byzantine Empire carried a lot of the Christian traditions.
Wait. No, you're not answering the question. What's the largest Christian denomination in the world in 2026?
Protestant, probably?
No.
Roman Catholic?
Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
So let's be very clear that this is what occurred. By the way, look, contradicted.
It says largest Christian denomination is the Catholic Church.
Yes.
I'm talking, when I say Byzantine, I'm talking about like 300, 400 AD. I'm not talking about modern day.
But the Byzantine Church is part of the Roman Church.
Mm-hmm.
You'd realize that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lineage. Yeah, totally.
It's part of the. So you're not describing something different. If it was not for Constantine.
No, my point is the tradition was carried and was strong enough, and it was based upon something real and tangible enough that it made it to 2,000 years later.
What do you mean by real and tangible? I don't have a problem.
Like real and tangible is like, again, we disagree on this, but real and tangible is whatever the 12 disciples saw, willing to sacrifice one's life for whatever they saw. That to me is real and tangible, because people don't walk into death if they're believing in nothing. Like you wouldn't be like, all right, kill me, I'm gonna sing songs now as you're skinning me alive, if you thought that what comes after is not greater than what exists today.
But see, what you just said is not about the historicity of Jesus.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not talking about the historicity. I'm talking about the real.
But that's what we're talking about.
I'm talking about the reality of a living Christ existing right this moment.
Now, when you say a living Christ,
yes,
once again, you may be talking about something that is larger than a literal guy that made cabinets and wore sandals with some long hair.
I mean, I don't look at it.
You're
this is
talking
God
about,
we're talking about. There's a manifestation
well,
of God.
Well, listen, I'm talking about, I'm really talking about how people use the best teachings of the Bible. And there's some amazing teachings of the Bible, right?
I mean, if you look at what the world was before, the reason we have a semi-civilized society right now is because of the Bible.
You're talking to a historian.
Because if you go back in time, I mean,
how many millions,
morality is
of
Christianity.
Wait a minute, come on now. You know, you're also talking to the descendants of slaves, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you're talking to a descendant of a slave too.
But there's no way that you're going to get me to agree that Christianity has been this panacea for the world's ills. Because the reality is,
that's not what I'm saying.
Many of the worst things that have occurred with people that wore a cross around their neck and said Jesus.
Yeah,
so
crusades, I agree. I mean, used
clear.
for political purposes.
Sure.
Roman Catholics selling a gateway to heaven, all satanic ideas. Yes, I know. I know the church has been misused for corrupt, evil things.
But you're making it sound
much
like
more so than good things.
You're making it sound like the world before Christianity was this horrific hellscape. And then Christianity came, and now we all agree. I would love for you.
That's not what I'm saying. It's still a horrific hellscape. I think it gave us a semblance of morality of what the right way was.
To the 272.
To who?
To the 272. Those people that were sold by Georgetown University into more arduous enslavement. That institution is still one of the most revered academic institutions in the United States.
We just talked about how Christianity has been used for evil a lot, and
but,
I agree.
But
so that 272 is a great example of what I just said.
But then you can't also try to make this sound like Christianity came and the world is better. I don't know.
I'm saying, yeah, it is better, but it's like far from. I mean, we're still living in Satan's playground right now. It's better to the sense of like if you decide to get the message of Christ, to improve your life, to improve your family, to improve your children, you have that option. It's something that you could pick out.
I always want you to glance at the screen every now and then.
I don't know. To be honest with you, man, AI. I don't know. I don't know if AI is a good AI. I've searched for example, the manuscripts I talked about, monk manuscripts. I've been to actually Caucasus and I've been to Armenia. I've seen these things. You ask AI right now, it'll tell you it doesn't exist. I tell you it exists. I've seen it myself. I've talked to people. The
challenge is that they're not ancient. These are things that people wrote more recently.
Not the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about ancient. I mean, I would highly.
Those haven't been documented online, so it can't pull it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, getting some old Armenian manuscripts from like 1,500, 1,800 years ago is not going to exist on ChatGPT. It exists, though. I mean, I highly encourage you to go and hang out with some Armenian Orthodox priests and ask them to, hey, what's in your traditions? Give me the information you have. What is it?
Listen, I do that, right? I do that. I also have an MDiv, so I enjoy this kind of thing. And I think that some of the folks that are in these traditions, all of them are amazing, right? They're good people, right? So I would do that. I would literally do that. But we're talking about historicity now. Okay, I don't have my MDiv hat on now. I have my historian hat on now.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I think that we have to just recognize is a great evil was done when these earlier traditions were destroyed. And they were destroyed largely. I wish I could just show you some images now.
You're talking about the Gnostics and stuff?
Even them. I mean, why did they think they needed
By the
to
way,
bury? Why did some of them think they needed to bury their text in dusty sands in Kemet? Because they began to realize, wait a minute, we're getting wiped out. These texts should still survive.
By the way, I know about this stuff too because the Gnostics, a lot of them were ancient Armenians, and we've actually heard these stories in our culture where when Christianity came, they killed a lot of people to cover up what came before that because they wanted to erase that history.
I constantly say to people they need to read the book Jesus Wars. Anyone who's seen me on other platforms knows I say it all the time. People nod. Almost no one ever reads it. But we need to be aware of how this tradition came into existence. People think that reading the Bible will give them the history of Christianity. It will not. It will not. You have to understand what happened, who did it, why, and when. And when you begin to study the historical narrative, you see some things that are really, really disturbing. And and this is a real concern of mine.
Let's bring
and I
this
think
to
that
a-
you also have to, let me just finish the sentence. I think you also have to, when you look at some of the texts, even those in Armenia, you'll actually see that those texts are not contemporaneous
to Christ's
to
time.
Christ. And that's the challenge.
You know,
now,
what you're asking.
Wait, but let me say this:
Yeah.
did decent people write something that was supposed to tell people how to live a good life? Sure, and that's wonderful. We should read them for that purpose, right? But when we're trying to say this is actually a historical narrative and it existed just as we've been told, that's where we get into trouble.
I won't argue with you. That's not as we've been told.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of stuff's been switched around. A lot of
Right.
lies introduced. My core belief is that yes, I believe that there was a Jesus Christ. I believe that changed the direction of the world. I believe that this is a living Christ, living figure, and the beating of death, the idea that he was able to beat death, I think is the point of basically telling us that we're in a matrix that is a death matrix. It's all evil. It's all to invert what is right, what is the message of Christ, and you have an avenue there to an afterlife, to living forever like Christ, as long as you realize the matrix we're living in. And if my final point is what I've realized is the existence of Christ is because of the inversion of our laws and how that is their number one goal, whether it's like the family courts that take away kids, whether it's robbing us of our money in this usury system, everything leads to the opposite of what Christ wanted. If you look at every ill of society right now, of what's happening, it is the inversion of Christ's word.
Some of the people doing it are some of the most pious Christians. At least they say.
I mean,
but
the devil comes in many shapes, brother.
Well,
you know that is somebody could sit up there and be like, I'm Christ-like, and they're a Judas. There's a lot of deceivers like that.
I would honestly say
be...
there are tons of deceivers. I don't know if the answer is Christianity, but I do think that if we were going to link arms and try to fight against some of the evils that have happened in this country, are still happening, we would agree on that. I'm just saying to you, when we try to find a historical tether to the narrative of Jesus Christ, we struggle. The narrative of the disciples, we struggle. And I'm going to end with this. For almost 2,000 years, when people think of resurrection, they think of Jesus. Well, for over 3,000 years, when they thought of resurrection, they used the name Asar.
Yeah.
And so we should understand that.
By the way, one quick point I want to make.
Sure.
This could be a cyclical thing too. It could be because if you look at the world, a lot of the things that we're learning now with the floods and all that, how humanity is basically reaches a pinnacle and then it destroys itself and then a new civilization is built. It could be that every cycle has a Christ-like character. I don't know. I'm too stupid of a human to know what is the reality.
I don't think you're stupid.
Of the the different dimensions that our eyes don't see. We see 3% of what's out there, right? But I do think that, my personal opinion, I think there's a core in this that is literally like you could be evil, you could be good, and that's what it is. I think all the church, the Christian, the this, that, I think it puts, when you put titles on stuff, it destroys it. Black, white, whatever. You know what I mean? It creates divisions.
Right.
To me, it's very simple. It's black and white. There's good, there's evil. The word of Christ is good, and then what I see our governments do, the Federal Reserve do, the family law courts do, everything in this constructed world is an inversion of that. Right?
Everything is evil in this.
No.
Wow.
Dude, if you
have a
actually
driver's license?
if you actually investigate,
Do you have a driver's license?
I do actually.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
you are agreeing with the devil.
No. But I mean, look,
everything is evil.
I think when you talk about government and what they've constructed,
Right.
they've constructed an evil matrix. I'm not saying everything is evil.
Okay.
I'm saying that the matrix that was created is an inversion of what God wants us to be. That's it. And that is intentional. That is through our money. That is through our familial. That is through our courts, and it's all intentional to basically steal our sovereignty, because that's the devil's trick. They want us to make us slaves. They want us to make us physical slaves. They want to make us mental slaves.
Right.
And right now, where we are, we're at a pinnacle of mental slavery in human history.
Okay.
I believe.
I think there's a lot for us to agree on, even though there's some things that we don't.
That's a
Glad
wrap,
we
guys.
agree on some stuff.
Good conversation.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
bro.
Really good
guys, check
conversation.
out the description. We'll include a link to everyone's social media handles. See you next time. Peace.
Thank you.
If you learned anything from this episode or got any value at all, please share this episode with a friend. It helps us grow the channel, it helps us grow the podcast, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much.